The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The draft is fast approaching, so it's time for another 7-round mock draft that we will do live on the show. And with the Giants signing Russell Wilson, how does that directly now impact the top of the draft, which could impact the Jets? We'll cover that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Wednesday. Smash the like button. Most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Quick reminder, as the end of the month approaches, if you want to join the Patreon, sign up for the year, and included with your membership will be 10 entries in our upcoming ASMANIAC raffle, which features a bunch of awesome prizes from our 2010 Jets theme of this week's raffle. Plus, you get Discord access, bonus shows, your name in the intro, and a whole lot more. So a couple days left in March. Join the Patreon if you haven't done so already. It's linked in the description, or you just go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Joining us right now to talk all things Jets and do another seven-round mock on this very show is our dear friend, Cole Thompson. Cole, happy Wednesday. And before we even get to the mock, let's talk about Russell Wilson signing with the Giants, because now you have a Giants franchise that has Wilson, Jameis Winston as their starting quarterback and backup quarterback. And I believe this is the Giants feeling like they're not going to be able to get Shedeur Sanders at 3 because he's going to end up going 2 to Cleveland. Cam Ward, I think, is definitely at this point. All signs point to him going 1 to the Titans. So I feel like this is the Giants saying, we need to get a legit starting quarterback for a year in case no one's there for us to take at 3. And I think this opens up a lot of possibilities with them now trading out, taking Travis Hunter, taking Abdul Carter. The entire top of the draft is directly impacted potentially by this signing.
Yeah, I just still want Shedeur Sanders in a New York Giants locker room just for the personalities all to mesh together. Jameis Winston on one side, Broncos country or Giants country, let's ride Russell Wilson, and then literally the spawn of Deion Sanders taking the Big Apple. Like, I just want that for my own sanity's sake. I completely disagree with you, though, Jake. I do. I don't think that the Browns are all in on Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I think that this is the ultimate sign for anybody paying attention right below the New York Giants at pick number 4, 5, 7, 8. Don't take a quarterback. This is not the draft to go be betting your franchise on one of the top names as a premier player with a premium pick. That's the way that I feel about this. There's no way that you can sell me that a New York Giants team that is going all in this year about making sure that they are going to be back as an organization with Joe Shane and Brian Dable, that landing Shedeur Sanders is a worse move than landing Russell Wilson. With me, it's saying, hey, we know that Russell Wilson can do the bare minimum. We know that Russell Wilson can be a stable bridge option for 1 year just for us to finalize the roster and put ourselves in a position where we believe that we are at least trending upward with the right personnel. And we're not going to bet our entire livelihood on the Colorado quarterback that was playing backyard BS football in the Big 12 last year. So in my opinion, for the Jets fans, for the Saints fans, for anybody out there that is looking inside the top 10 to maybe trade on up to guarantee they get their next quarterback, this is not the draft to do so. And I'm seeing all these mocks coming out about Jackson Dart potentially going at 7. Why wait at 7 when Shedeur Sanders is going to be there at 7? And the team that had the worst quarterback room, period, in the NFL, period, last year, period, is not going after Shedeur Sanders. That's the way that I look at it.
Interesting. So we're on the opposite side. I just think Cleveland needs a quarterback so badly. I just think they can't afford to pass on a quarterback when they only have Kenny Pickett. Deshaun Watson's not good and probably is never playing football again with his injury situation. So I just feel like the Giants are worried they're going to be left at the altar if their plan to sell ownership on why they deserve more time is, hey, we got Jameis to hold the fort, and then eventually we hand things over to Shador, and we're going to show that he's going to get better throughout the year, and you got to stick with us because we're developing him into a franchise guy. I guess you could be right. They could be saying, look, these quarterbacks besides Cam Ward aren't good. We know Tennessee is not going to really listen to us to trade out of number 1, so we're going down a different path. If I were the Giants, though, here's what I would do. If you don't have conviction in Sanders, if he is there at 3, I would look to trade out and try and get as many picks as possible. So next year in a better quarterback class, you have the ammunition to go up and get your guy. Because for those saying, well, the Giants are going to suck anyway, who cares? They might. They probably aren't going to be great, but you can't guarantee that you're going to be in the position to get the top guy next year. We saw how the Giants, who were awful all year, won that one game that cost them the number 1 pick. So if I were the Giants, I'd move out of 3 because I do think teams would come up for either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. They might both be on the board, but certainly one of them is guaranteed to be on the board. That's what I would do. And I do wonder, would the Jets consider moving up for any player that's not a quarterback? Probably not, but I do think other teams would consider moving up to number 3 if the Giants would listen.
Well, let's just say that somehow they believe out in Las Vegas that Shedeur Sanders can be a really good quarterback in Chip Kelly's system. You're moving back 3 spots. You're still going to be in line to get an offensive lineman. You're still going to be in line to get a defensive end if you want to, or an interior offensive lineman, or you're going to get a running back. You know, we haven't really talked enough about that. Maybe we could see Ashton Genty go to a team like the Giants in a trade-down scenario, not at 3, but certainly I think everything's in play if you move out of that pick. And I look at this organization right now, they have holes really everywhere. Yeah, you have a number 1 wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. How do you feel about your tight end room? How do you feel about your interior offensive line? How do you feel about your linebacker position? How do you feel about your secondary, especially at the safety spot? And those are all areas that you can address in a trade down option. But when you're sitting there at 3, everyone is saying you got to take the quarterback. You got to take the quarterback. You got to go ahead and bank on Shadeur's upside or Cam Ward's polishness. And unfortunately, I just don't see it. And I've been preaching this for months now. I've come on this show multiple times and said, I would take Cam Ward in the first round. I would not take him with one of my top 10 picks. I would not take him with a top 20 pick. And honestly, I would probably take Shedeur at the very end of round 1 in a Lamar Jackson situation where a team trades back up. They have a good balanced overall identity, and they just want to find themselves a contingency plan long-term. But I don't see a scenario where either one of these guys have shown me enough on film or through their progression of tape that they are going to be difference makers and top 10S type quarterbacks in the NFL. So why am I taking a top 10 pick on them? If I'm the Giants, I'm trading down. I'm getting as much draft compensation as possible. And I'm agreeing with you, Jake. Next year's draft class at quarterback, depending on what it could be, from Arch Manning to a resurgent version of Carson Beck to Sam Levin, Drew Aller, whoever it's going to be, those are all better options than what you currently are dealt with in the first round of this year's draft. Like, you talk to people about what we saw in 2024's draft. 6 quarterbacks went in the first round. Literally, if you talk to anybody, they say that Cam Ward is the only person that would even be considered to be higher than QB6, not Shedeur Sanders. So why are you going to go take a guy at pick number 3? Because if he would be the 7th best quarterback at worst in last year's draft.
I still think it's going to go quarterback. I could be wrong. I just think Cleveland is desperate. I think that regime's got to win. I know they made the playoffs a few years ago, and Stefanski's, done well with Baker and Flacco. And I just feel like the spot Cleveland's in right now with that Deshaun deal and only having Kenny Pickett, I still could see quarterback, but you're right. Maybe it's not at 2. Maybe it's beginning of the second round. They get Dart, or they trade back into the end of the first round.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. But humor me for a second. What if they take Abdul Carter and then they move up to pick number 21 or pick 20 ahead of the Pittsburgh Steelers that do need a quarterback right now? They go get Shedeur Sanders and they give up future draft compensation, but they get themselves.
I don't think Shedeur is going to fall as far as you do. There's just too many teams that need quarterbacks.
I don't either personally, but what I'm saying
is, you see him in Vegas and he sits behind Geno for a year and he's in a good spot there where he develops. I mean, Brady owns the Raiders. He works out with Shedeur. It's Dion and Brady are very close. I could see that scenario playing itself out where I don't think Shedeur would fall that far.
I could see him falling past 6. I could see him falling to 7, and then that'd be a really interesting conversation for the Jets.
Trade out.
I would trade out immediately. I mean, 6 is where I think I do think he will go within the first 12 picks. I agree with you there. But for me personally, if the Browns were able to do something along the lines of moving on up into, like, say, the top 15, and Shadir's stock continues to drop just a little bit, they land themselves a premier pass rusher, and in my opinion, the best player in the draft at pick number 2. They get themselves a potential for quarterback for the long-term future in Shadir Sanders, and you allow Kenny Pickett to start the first several games. And if he does well, he does well. And if not, he doesn't. But, like, I look at the situation right now. I think that Cleveland, especially with a guy like Kevin Stefanski, 2-time NFL Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski, that is being told he's on the hot seat, that's somebody I'm not willing to bank my career on. And especially right now, if I'm sitting here, Andrew Berry and ownership deserves more of a fault than anyone else, because if you look back at that press conference when Deshaun Watson signed on the dotted line, the only person that didn't seem thrilled about a man who was coming off of a season-ending injury, didn't play for an entire year, and had 22 sexual misconduct allegations against his name was his future quarterback, was his future head coach. So I just don't see a scenario where they're all in on a quarterback right now. Maybe you're right. I personally just would say, if I'm Cleveland, I would rather take a bank on Jackson Dart. I would rather take a bank on Will Howard. I would rather wait until round 3 to go after Quinn Ewers if I have to, just for quarterback conversations, and not miss out on a top-tier talent like a Abdul Carter that could be in my basket, and pair him alongside with Myles Garrett for the foreseeable future.
Well, the doomsday scenario for the Jets would be if Sanders slides.
Yeah.
He's there at 7, but the Jets can't get anyone to really come up and make it worth their while to trade up for him. And then, like, the following players are already gone in this scenario. Hunter, Carter, obviously Ward is gone at that point. Let's say the Raiders don't take Gentry, the running back, who I don't believe would be in play for the Jets. Let's say Membu's gone. Let's say Warren is gone. Who are the Jets going to take in that scenario? Like, that to me would be the doomsday scenario. Like, other teams just don't like this quarterback class. Sanders is there. The Jets don't want to take him. They don't believe him. And then it's like, okay, who are you taking at 7? I guess Will Campbell could be there. He'd make some sense if you still want to go O-line.
It would work. Calvin Banks, if you really want to try it, just the left tackle for Texas. I mean, it could work. Did you say Tyler Warren? Is he still available or is he gone?
No, Warren. See, to me, Warren would be the pick, but he's not there.
Okay, so he's gone. Ted McMillan, I'm again, that's one that where you're willing to maybe risk a little bit, banking on the upside. Do you want to add in another defensive end? Like, would you be okay with adding in a Shamar Stewart or a Mike Green from Marshall? Because of at least that their upside is they're going to be a 7.5 sack, 10.5 tackle for loss type guy year 1, and it will allow you to figure out what Jermaine Johnson is going to be for the long term.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments and questions, we'll cut the line before we get to ASMANIAC Madness and then do our live mock draft. Another reminder about the ASMANIAC raffle. Signed Darrelle Revis helmet. Signed Rex Ryan helmet. Signed Bart Scott jersey. Signed Santonio Holmes helmet. Signed Antonio Cromartie helmet. And signed Nick Mangold jersey. Our top 6 prizes in this week's ASMANIAC raffle. So gift away for your chance to be entered. If you send in a $20 super chat, you get 5 entries. You send in a $50 super chat, you get 10. And oh yeah, if you gift a membership, the amount you gift is the amount of entries that you get. So with that said, let's now
hang on, real fast. I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you even mention Mason Graham in this scenario?
Okay, so Graham is also gone at 7.
Okay, so there we go. Because if Graham's there at 7, and I will slow down with my talking, apparently, so that everyone hears it, Graham would be a great fit, I think, for this defensive front. And that would be my pick if he was there at 7.
Graham would be gone. So this is like the doomsday scenario for the Jets. If, like, let's say Sanders slides.
Yeah.
Ward's gone. Carter's gone. Hunter is gone. Graham is gone. Membu is gone. And Warren is gone. What do you do?
Can you try to trade back?
That's what I'm saying.
I said, can you? Because at that point, at least I'm getting value in return. If I'm taking like Ted McMillan or Mike Green, I'm at least getting value in return at that point. Or even Walter Nolan. Again, I want to see how he tests at his pro day down in Oxford. That's a guy that I think is going to get well overdrafted than what the mock drafts are saying right now.
Daniel Malcolm just received a channel membership. Who did he receive it from? That's because J-Boy is the first person on the show today to gift a channel membership. J-Boy in the ASMANIAC raffle for one. Thank you very much, J-Boy. All right, let's set the stage now for ASMANIAC Madness. Here's where we stand. We're making our way through the Hood region. Yesterday was an epic day of action when Peter Castro got on the bike. Deep down, I think even Nate knew it was game over. Ended up being a close battle. Nate was a tremendous competitor, but it is the 4 seed, Peter Castro, moving on, which sets the stage now for our 2 matchups today on the program. Our first one features the number 3 seed, Neal, versus the 6 seed, the great Leenie in North Carolina. So that's the matchup on this show. The matchup in the afternoon today is David T, the 2 seed, versus PBM, Purple Belt Mike. So without further ado, let's hand things over right now to Jim Nance, and he will announce that voting is officially underway in today's ASMANIAC Madness battle.
It's time for ASMANIAC Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top ASMANIAC for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
Vote, vote, vote. Cole, we had a game that went to overtime 2 days ago. Over 780 votes. It was 782. It was an even 50-50 split. And we had to run a 3-minute secondary poll to determine a winner. So this tournament's been nuts.
Is this
crazy.
was that for Chiefs fan?
No, Chiefs fan just got beat.
I know, by We the People. I saw that.
Yep. It was the Dave Brigger versus Mike D's Nuts matchup in the Chicken Soup region.
Oh my God. I'm pulling the upsets today. I think both the 6 seed and the 7 seed move on. I got Queenie winning today. Neal, you're going down. You talk mad crap to children. I don't appreciate that. You're going down today. Queenie in North Carolina, I'm with you.
Queenie. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We're going to do another live 7-round mock coming up here. This one's from Nate. He says, shout out to the committee, all the voters in the chat, voters on the street, and of course the legend Peter Castro. He never looked so happy riding that bicycle. Peter Castro wrote it earlier. Thank you, all ASMANIACs in the panel. Nate, you were great. So great job by both of them yesterday. If you missed it, I highly recommend you watch it. Here's a short clip of Peter Castro on the bike from yesterday.
Oh, shit.
He actually did get on the bike, though, Cole. It was
Did he really?
It was in a monsoon down in Florida. It was much watch. Just
oh,
tremendous.
my God.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's
it
do
is
this.
time for a mock draft. So every week we follow a different theme as we try and kind of mess around with these simulators here. Last week we traded back. So why don't we stick and pick this week, Cole, and kind of see. Well, we won't do any trades. Let's just stay. At least we won't do any trades early. Let's stay where we are at 7 and evaluate our options in this simulator scenario.
Can I make you a deal? Can we do this? If nothing is available, can we trade back in the round 1? Like, can we trade back to gain the draft compensation to move back into round 1 to get 2 picks in the first round?
Maybe.
All right, let's just figure it out from here. I like breaking rules. So let's go.
Here we go. So we're going to use PFN again as our simulator of choice for this one. 7-round mock. I'm putting the speed on normal this time, and let's do it. Here we go. We're going to enter the solo draft, and let's mock, baby. Hit that like button if you're watching live, and make sure you get those votes in.
So Membo's off the board.
Oh, my God. The Giants are going to take another running back in the top 3.
Told you.
This is like the most unrealistic mock scenario ever. I think we would take Travis Hunter here, no?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm just not letting him fall. It's a 2-way player, but I look at Mason Graham, and he's still there, and Tyler Warren's still there. So it's like,
I get that, but if this scenario played itself out, we're getting.
Do you want to hit reset so that way the scenario doesn't play itself out?
Yeah, this to me, yeah, let's do that.
I say, how about you do that? Because that's not going to happen.
He's not in good faith operate with Armin Menbu going 2nd overall on this draft. That's just not going to happen.
He's not. Let's just make this clear. Travis Hunter is not falling past pick number 5, whether in a trade up or the Jacksonville Jaguars take him. He will be gone in the top 5 picks. Sorry, it's just going to happen that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're doing this again.
Travis Hunter went 1. There we go.
Here we go. All right, this is we're not trading with the Dolphins. Get the hell out of here. All right, we are on the clock here. Graham is here. So is Sanders. I'm not taking him. Tyler Warren is here. And we'll go with this one because this is somewhat plausible.
It's realistic.
Yep, these players being gone, maybe not the order, but these players being gone is plausible. So both the tackles are gone. To me, Cole, I would take Warren here. I know there's a lot of people who would say, take Graham, take Graham. I'm tired of defensive tackles. We have a defensive coach, a great defensive coordinator, and Steve Wilkes. I just feel like you already have Quinnen. I could find a good DT in round 2 in this draft. I need a weapon. Right now, we have Garrett Wilson and nobody else. I would go Tyler Warren here. What are your thoughts?
I don't hate it. If I'm going just based off of my overall big board, Mason Graham would be the pick, because if I have Graham listed higher than Tyler Warren, but it's not by much. I think that Warren provides everything that you need for a quarterback like Justin Fields to prosper. Or if you were to take a quarterback in round 2, they love utilizing tight ends. That would be the move. And again, if you could trade back, that would be great here. And maybe one of them falls to you, or you're going to go ahead and take Tet McMillan. I also like Will Johnson. And I know that that is a pick that is very risky, so we won't even talk about him. But if he tests well during his private workout, I'd have him in line. I think right now, just go for it. My gut says take Mason Graham. You can land still a really good tight end later. But if you want to go with the tight end, I have no issue taking Tyler Warren at 7.
Chat, what do we think? Should we go Graham or should we go Warren? I think it's between those two.
It's between those two.
Man.
I believe it's between those two. Here's what I will say. I believe that the floor of Tyler Warren is higher than the floor of Mason Graham. I believe the ceiling of Mason Graham is higher than Tyler Warren's. I think that Tyler Warren could be a top 10 tight end in the NFL. I think that Mason Graham could be a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL.
A lot of people in the chat are split, so I will make the final decision here.
I'll let you make the decision.
I'm going to go with what Cole's big board is telling us, and plus Dom C. I mean, I think the Jets would take Graham in this scenario. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to we'll take Graham. We'll do a different mock, I'm sure, leading up to the draft. We still got a month to go where we'll end up with Warren. But now we need weapons in the second and potentially third round as well. So this simulator is not working on my screen here. I'm clicking draft. Damn it. Why is it working?
There we go. Hold up. Now is it working?
No, it is not working. Anytime now, PFN. Here we go. All right, we're in.
Finally, it worked.
Mason Graham was our pick.
I still believe that you can get a quality tight end on day number 2. I believe that you could still get a really solid wide receiver number 3 on day number 2. I don't think that you will get a better talent available than what you have with Mason Graham at pick number 7. That's just my 2 cents of it. He is a great run stuffer. He is phenomenal when it comes to winning his one-on-one battles. He has good low center of gravity. He's a physical machine. The motor of this kid is relentless. Everything that you look at on tape pops when you watch his agility drills. He is a difference maker. You pair him alongside with Quinnen Williams. You pair him alongside with a healthy Jermaine Johnson. You get Will McDonald take that next step forward. This to me is this is still, in my opinion, a top 5 defensive line in the NFL, if not a top 3 defensive line, especially if Graham can come out the gate swinging.
So now we're going through the second round here. The Jets will pick at 42 this round. And once again, we're not doing any trades in this scenario here. We're just going to stick and pick, make all our picks, even though I would probably take this from Atlanta to get a 4th next year. The other trade offer was a Ravens 2nd. I probably would consider that strongly as well.
You just want to do it? You just want to do it that way. Again, you get the 2nd next year.
No trades, Cole.
All right, no trades. All right, fine. Let's see what we got available.
We're just sticking and picking. We're letting the board play itself out. And the Jets are on the clock here. We're not going to take another defensive tackle. I'm going to take a look at the offensive players here. To me, this pick could be a tackle. This pick could be a tight end. This pick could be a wide receiver. I'm going to take a look at the wide receivers because that's a huge need. Jaden Higgins has been a popular guy that's been mocked. By a lot of people. I think he's a 2nd-round guy. Now, you probably watched a lot more Isaiah Bond at Texas than I did. Your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm not high on him. I think he's a 3rd-round talent. I thought that, again, you look at the 4.5 they posted at the Combine. He ran better yesterday at Texas Pro Day. He's fast. He is, in my opinion, one of the biggest X factors when on the field because of his play speed is a lot faster than I think his actual speed that we see. But I just look at the drops that he had when he was at Alabama, the drops that he had when he was at Texas, the inconsistent route running. That's a guy that I would take with a top 90 pick. That's not a guy I would take with a top 60 pick.
I actually, just based on value here, I actually like either going an offensive tackle. We'll have our plug and play right tackle here, or potentially taking a tight end here in Mason Taylor, depending on how you feel about him.
I love Mason Taylor's game. I do, but I don't know if he's worth the 42nd overall pick, which again, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. But I would take him with the 3rd round pick instead. When's the 3rd round pick? 76?
73 is our next pick.
So look at the tight ends that you have available right now. Mason Taylor's one. Gunnar Helm is another. You also have Elijah Arroyo from Miami. I think all three of those guys would be really good in round 3.
At least one of them will be there. So if we're playing the board and the Jets still need a tackle, assuming at this point, Ursary from Minnesota has been a name that I know some Jet fans like.
It's a name that I think at this point, here's what's going to happen. Uricy's going to be a dude that will be a victim of the moment for a team that needs an offensive tackle and doesn't want to wait until round 2 to go get him. So they'll take him at the end of round 1. If there's a run on teams, if he's available right now, I say go with him. I think Uricy can be a pretty solid contributor day 1. Josh Connerly, I do like him. I actually like him a little bit more than Uricy, personally. I've seen him be more of a consistent mock draft in the first round. If you're asking me based off the big board, I'm going with Connerly. That's, again, my 2 cents. He's been a left tackle for the last 2 years. He's a really good pass protector. He was a big reason
play
why.
Right tackle?
What? I know, that's the thing. Do you think that he can transition to right tackle? That's my only question there.
I'm looking at Dom C's draft guide, folks, and the top offensive tackles that our resident draft guru, that Jet Nation depends on. He has Connerly as his number 1 rated offensive tackle. First round grade on the guy. I'm taking Connerly. I'm putting my faith in Dom C. We have just drafted a starting right tackle in the 2nd round. Boom. That's our pick.
Again, I have no issue with it. I think it's a smart move. I just think that, again, the only question I have is you're looking at a guy that's only played on the left side. Will he transition to the right side in time for week 1?
We will get back to this mock draft in a moment, but ladies and gentlemen, we have a battle in ASMANIAC Madness. Check the poll. It is dead even. It is 50-50 with almost 200 votes that have been cast. Neal and Leenie duking it out. Can Leenie, the 6 seed, pull off an upset over Neal, the 3 seed? We've seen a lot of upsets in this tournament, so you can't rule anything out when it comes to ASMANIAC Madness. All right, we're back to our mock right now. The Jets are on the clock at 73. For this scenario, we're not doing any trades, so I'm just going to reject this Niners one, even though that is an intriguing offer, as is getting a future pick next year, so I'm going to reject that one. We are on the clock. Here are the players who are available. Let's just look at the overall big board first. We have Trevion Henderson is still there. I don't think the Jets would take a running back. Xavier Restrepo is still there. That's the guy I really like a lot at the receiver spot.
Okay, are you worried about him at all? I know that he tweeted out yesterday after the after the pro day, I was running with the bad hamstring. Are you worried about him at all running a 4.840?
Am I worried?
Yeah. Because he's also not big. He's 5'8", 5'9" at most.
Listed at 5'9". Yeah, I like him. Good value. I think Jack Bech would probably be my preference of these guys here. Just look.
Oh, he's even available? No, that's the pick.
I don't think. I don't know if he'll be here in an actual.
Go to tight end real fast. I just want to see what you got.
To me, it's tight end or receiver here.
No, it's offense for sure. And it's one of those 2. All right, when's the 118? Okay. Let me do. Okay, here's so Turd Ferguson's still there from Oregon. That's a decent guy. Elijah Arroyo, I think,
you call him Turd Ferguson on purpose?
Yes, I did. Gunnar Helm is there. I like him. Again, I like him a lot. I think that he is probably the most consistent of the 3 in what he provides. Do you think that one of them is going to be there at pick 119? Look at the wide receivers that are available. Because you have Bech, who would be my pick. You really like Restrepo, which I completely get behind. You still have Tess Johnson, who I am very worried about with a 155-pound frame. Don't think that that's someone that I would take. A dude that I love, and I know that Franco is talking about him in the chat, so I'll just get to it right now. Kyle Williams from Washington State's a stud. He is, in my opinion, one of the best separators in the class. He is one of the more complete route runners in the class. He has shown you the last 2 years with 2 different quarterbacks in Cam Ward and John Mateer that he is a consistent playmaker. He fits that Z mold. But then again, you already have a Z wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. So I personally think that if he's available in round 4, you could go ahead and swing at him. Where does he rank on this board, or if he's even there?
I am not. He's 150.
There he is. Okay, so he's way down there. So
I think we should just take Bech. Bech is a solid.
I think Bech is the best player on the board available. And he fits inside. And he also is a really good route runner. And he's a good blocker. And I think he could be a very focal point of an offense that wants to be good inside the red zone. That is who I will say is probably the best pick
Jack
Coming
Best
off a
was our
1,000
pick.
yard season.
For those tuning in late, here was this week's scenario that we're doing. No trades. We stick and pick, even though there were some trade backs. We did that last week with all the fun, with all the picks. So this week, we're basically just sticking and picking and making our selections where the Jets have them. So Graham was our first pick at 7. We chose him over Tyler Warren. That's what it came down to. Connerly was our pick at 42. He's our plug-and-play starting right tackle now. And Jack Best is receiving help that we needed for Justin Fields and this offense. We still need a tight end. We still could look at safety or defensive end. You can't go wrong taking a linebacker at some point as well, if it makes sense. So
All right,
here we go.
Forget it. Let's look at what's it called.
We are on the clock at pick 110. Let's take a look at the overall big board first and evaluate our options here, Cole.
Shamar Turner's still available, so that's a really good tight end. That's a really good defensive tackle. Hey,
Kurt
look,
Ferguson is here.
Kurt Ferguson's there, and that is probably the best tight end left.
6'5". If this was Joe Douglas, he'd be a Jet with that RAS score right there.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
said if you look at the Raz, he's all in.
Let's take a look at Dom's tight end rankings here to get a feel where he has them. So Terrence Ferguson is, according to Dom, his 5th rated tight end. He's got a 3rd round grade on him.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, this is really good value because we're in the 4th round. So I like it.
Just out of curiosity, because I love studying tight end film. That's actually like just my favorite player to study. Who does he have ranked in before
Dom's
Ferguson?
Yeah, so Dom's top tight ends are Warren 1, Loveland 2, Taylor 3, Fannin Jr. 4, Ferguson 5.
Really? Fannin just scares me because Fannin and Loveland aren't tight ends. They're just big slot receivers. And they could be great and they're phenomenal type of talents, but if you're wanting a dude that can be a full wide traditional tight end that can help out in the run game, you don't go after Fannin. And if you want a receiver, again, this is the year that we had last year with Brock Bowers. I'm rambling. Just go take Ferguson. I think that he's a good overall route runner. I think that he is a very good in line blocker. I think that he has a lot of things that he can work on, but that's where you get in a day 3 talent. He's not expected to be your starter week 1, balls out, all pro talent. You want to be a guy that can be effective on certain design plays and line you up in the right situation to where you can attack. That's what I look at.
All right, we will get back to this mock draft in just a moment, but ladies and gentlemen, it has happened. The Lup Man has delivered 5 channel memberships. Hit the booby dance.
Bobby. I want to see more, Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Sturman, Shane Tuttle, Coach Drunk, Chris Curtis, Nick Russo, and Dave from New Brunswick all received channel memberships there from Luppy. 51-49, Neal has retaken the lead. We got another tight one here. I told you Neal was going to be in for a battle. Leenie is a beloved caller, a member of the 4.5%. So while Neal might call more, Leenie's calls always are impactful, and it is a battle right now in ASMANIAC Madness if you're just tuning in, so make sure you go and vote. All right, let's continue our mock draft here. We'll move a little quicker as we get to the latter rounds here. We are on the clock, Cole, pick 145. For those tuning in, this is where we stand right now. 7, we took Graham, Connerly Jr., 42, Jack Best at 73, Terrence Ferguson at 110. I almost feel like at this point, when you get this late in the draft, you're basically going best player available. It doesn't always have to be a position at need. RJ Mickens is here, former Jet, his son. I would be very interested in him at the safety spot. I think you can't go wrong even doubling down at either receiver or tight end, given where the Jets are right now. So if there's a tight end you like.
Is that Mitchell Evans?
Mitchell Evans from Notre Dame is on the board.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Wide receiver.
Oh, Kyle Williams is still there. Kyle Williams from Washington State. Take him.
That's your guy?
Take him. Take him.
Like
100%. Great value.
I like the conviction. I can tell you, let's see where Dom has Kyle Williams on his draft board here. I'm always curious. Dom C's draft board at wide receiver. He has Kyle Williams. Let's see.
He can't have him in like anything more than a 4th round pick.
He has Kyle Williams, and the screen sharing is like slowing down my computer, so I can't even.
Is your computer on fire right now because of how good this mock is for us not making trades?
That's probably part of it, yes. I actually don't know where Dom has him because I can't find him. But he has him somewhere. I mean, Dom's got like a million receivers ranked here.
Of course he does. No, I mean, again, What are you looking for? A dude that can be a difference maker. I mean, he is such a good separator, and he wins so much of the line of scrimmage that when you throw in his versatility to line up on the slot, to line up on the outside, you throw in his consistency over the last 2 years. I mean, he had 26 touchdowns throughout his career when he was in Pullman, Washington. This is a guy that I think absolutely is going to be undermined going into the draft, and then he's going to hit by the end of the by like early December. The way that we were talking about Tank Dell, the way that people were talking about Puka Nacua at times, like he'll be at that level, 4th round, 3rd round pick that has just caught fire, and people are like, why did he fall so low in the draft? Like, there's a reason why people are falling on him.
Mickens is here. I interrupt you to say we need a safety and we need the son of a great Jet.
So go get the son of a great Jet. Just
RJ
make it
Mickens.
a household game.
I know Connor
Rogers.
Connor Rogers was talking about Mickens this week on his podcast. Very high on him.
I think at where he is, because this was the 5th round, right? Or is this the 6th round?
Yeah, 162. So we were in the 5th round.
5th round. Yeah. Again, for a 5th round safety who has starting potential, comes from a big time program like Clemson. I get it. He's played in the biggest atmospheres. He helped his team make the college football playoff. He was critical in the AACC championship against SMU. He plays like a kid with his hair lit on fire. He can make plays on the football. He's really aggressive downhill tackler. I'm not expecting him to be a starter. I'm expecting him to be a rotational dude. But that's what you get in 5th round picks. It's worth taking a shot.
100%. Let's see. We're on the clock here. I'm just going to take a look at quarterback here. If the Jets did want to take someone to add to the pipeline. I don't really love any of these guys here. I don't know if you have a strong opinion on Curtis Rourke from Indiana.
No, not really.
Running back, wide receiver, tight end again. Jackson Hawes is still here. If we want to, I actually like Hawes a lot. If we're going to me, he's the best blocking tight end in the class.
Do you have another pick though?
Do I have another pick? We have one more pick at 207.
I think he's more available at 207 than he is at 186 or 166, whatever we're at.
How about any offensive lineman here? Anyone catch your attention? Defensively as well. We could use a linebacker. We could use another safety potentially. Certainly could use.
Which Roberts is that?
Elijah Roberts from SMU.
From SMU.
Big 285-pound DT.
I don't hate that. What do you got, linebacker? Let's go linebacker. Let's see.
Linebacker. Let's take a look. Cody.
Is Jay Higgins still available? Nah, he's gone.
I like Elijah Roberts here.
I say go Elijah Roberts. Double down on defensive line.
It's a need. The Jets have basically signed.
Nobody.
Well,
anybody?
They've signed a bunch of guys that are like def signings, like to 1-year deals.
So, was Jack Sawyer still available?
He might be. We got one pick left.
Well, I know who I'm taking with that one. So
if Hawes is there, I would double down on tight end.
That's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna run the bleep out of the football. I know Will Parkinson's a big Jackson Hawes guy.
Well, he's a great blocking tight end. Like, that's the thing. He's fantastic at the one thing he does extremely well.
Here we go. And I think someone picked him. Did we lose him? He's gone. Someone stole him from us.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's why I call bad GMing by you. If you believe in a player, you get him.
Okay, fine. Well, I do believe in Luke Lachey out of Iowa.
Is he a tight end?
Yes, he is. And he was available.
Iowa tight end?
Yep.
I mean,
can't go wrong with it.
Can't go wrong.
I know that Jalen Conyers is a name that people are going to talk about, but I like Luke Lachey a lot better.
I'm sold. I am sold. All right. It's the 7th round at this point. But so there we go. We stuck in pick. And here was our final mock as the simulator wraps up here. We didn't make any trades on purpose. To me, the big debate that we had was if Graham's there at 7 and Warren's there at 7, what do you do? I think the Jets would take Graham. I personally would have taken Warren. Cole, you would have went with Graham, so we went with you.
I would have went with Graham.
We took Besh in the 3rd round. I thought that was a good value there. Connerly is really good. I mean, Dom C loves him, so I think we got really good value with him there.
It's a good value pick. I mean, that's a dude that you're gonna That's a dude that when you see in mock drafts, he's usually like the 5th offensive tackle taken, but he's also the last offensive tackle taken in the first round, and you're getting him round 2. So it's not a bad fit at all. Like, I mean, I know that there are Texans fans trying to talk themselves into, well, what about this Connerly kid out of Oregon? What's he going to be? And I'm like, he's going to be a dude that comes with flaws, but he started for multiple years at Oregon, and he was really good for a team that went undefeated and won a Big Ten title this past year. That's what I feel like.
I feel like another mock draft is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching that. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Another reminder to get in on the ASMANIAC raffle if you want some entries. Raymond with a nice comment here. Only Jake can find another great distraction during a slow off-season time. Thank you for the awesome content. Raymond, don't thank me. Thank the incredible people that tune into the show and call in, because right now we got quite the matchup. I'm seeing 50-50 again here, folks. I can't believe this. Are we going to need our second overtime session of the week? 306 votes have been cast. Neal and Leenie are knotted at 50 apiece. 50-50. Incredible. Another great matchup we got here.
Can Leenie call in? Can Leenie or Neal call in to give their final thoughts right before?
So there's strategy involved. Could Neal hurt his chances by calling in? I think.
Yeah, or could Leenie help her chances by calling in?
That's what they have to decide. It's
like,
up to them.
I think it's only fair that at least one of them calls in during the show.
It's up to them. It's some have called in, some haven't. It's certain callers. It's better if they don't speak. I don't know if that's Neal or Leenie. It's up for them. Yeah. Jimbo says, morning, Cole and Jake. What's Cole's thoughts on Josh Farmer from FSU as a guy to put next to Quinnen? Also, did Alt ever play right tackle in college? LA put him at right tackle.
No, he was a left tackle.
They put him at right tackle this year.
Yeah. Blake Fisher was the right tackle for the university. I mean, for Notre Dame. So he played right tackle for Texans. And again, they put him there because of they have an all-pro left tackle at John Slater. Like, do you feel like that Olu Fashanu is an all-pro left tackle immediately? Like Slater, when he hit the ground running, was a stud out in LA. Like, people loved him out in LA. And so, yeah, I mean, it can work. And I'm not saying that Connerly can't switch on over. What I'm saying is that people think that just because of you're switching positions, that it's such an easy fix from going to the left side of the right. It's not. It's not. If the best right tackle prospect is Armand Membo, and he is available at pick number 7, that's a dude that I take because I'm not worried about him having to play anything other than right tackle, where he's been a stud the last 2 years at the University of Missouri as a great run blocker and high potential upside in pass protection. But Connerly, you're taking that risk. Is he going to transition? He could, but we haven't seen it. That's the thing that drives me crazy when it comes to people. They overthink it. What does this person do really well? What is it? Let's move into this side. You got to realize, don't try to overcompensate what a guy does really well. Like Armand Membo is a right tackle. Let him be an all-pro right tackle. He'll kill it at that spot, wherever he lands. But don't say, oh, we're going to put him at left tackle because we used the 7th overall pick. Chargers didn't do that. They said, hey, we got a really good tackle. We're going to throw him in on the right side. He'll pan out. And he didn't.
Nick Shine's missing toe wants to know, does Cole shave his eyebrows?
I do not. They just do not grow in. They're very blonde.
Neal writes in, Leenie, you are a great caller and real fan. Good luck. What a battle here. Two of the great Jet fans that support this channel. Neal up 51-49. It is anyone's ball game here in ASMANIAC Madness. Couple quick questions here. Yo Home says, you really think Muji's first ever pick, 7th overall, is going to be a tight end? Really? I mean, why not? If he thinks Tyler Warren's the best player there, and he's the one guy that could help you in your running game and your passing game, why not? I mean, it's a huge need right now. They didn't re-sign Tyler Conklin. The only tight end on the roster with any like legitimate starting experience or just playing experience is Jeremy Ruckert right now. So, yeah, I 100% could see Warren being the pick. Do I think he's the pick if the scenario we just did played itself out? No. I think the Jets would have done what you wanted them to do, Cole. They would have taken Mason Graham, which is what we did in the mock.
Again, if you land, say, Tyler Warren at pick number 12 and get a 3rd-round pick in return, which, again, we didn't do any trades, that to me is a better win. And that's okay with me, because if I think a tight end, you better be a special talent to be inside the top 10. And I'm not sure that Tyler Warren is at that same level, but he fits a need. More importantly, I think that he is something that adds incredible value to the offense for a guy like Justin Fields, who we saw throughout his time in Chicago, throughout his time in Pittsburgh, loves targeting tight ends. And I think that he is a plug-and-play starter, and it's an immediate upgrade for your offensive personnel. I don't hate it. I personally would go with either Will Johnson or Mason Graham if they were available, I would go Amon Membu. I mean, like, again, I will scream that from the heavens. If Membu is there at pick number 7, take him, prosper, love it, enjoy life. But if he's not, then yeah, go take Tyler Warren. I don't have that big of an issue with it. It's all based off of how well you think he can progress. And I think he will be at the end of the year top 15 tight end by the end of next season, probably top 10 tight end if he continues to develop.
JD Surf City. We got one starter in the first 4 picks. Connerly won't start. He'd start at right tackle, John. I vehemently disagree.
Yeah.
Jack Bash would right now. Jack Bash would probably start, and also Garrett Wilson didn't start right away either, which was ridiculous. So I'm not really that concerned with that. I think by the end of the year, Bash, if he's legit like I think he is, he'd play.
By the end of the year, you should have 5 starters for that team: Kyle Williams, Terrence Ferguson, Jack Bash, Josh Connerly, Mason Graham. Like by the end of the year, if everything hit, you should have a long-term answer at tight end, a quality number 3 or number 4 wide receiver, a solid number 2 wide receiver to pair along with Garrett Wilson, a starting defensive tackle, and probably at least a decent right tackle.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Addison with a super chat. Vote for Leenie. Jake, please inform Bobby I'm working today. Addison, are you working today? And he hopes I'm safe from Cheats fan. Cheats fan, come at me, bro. Cheats fan.
Is he so mad at you?
He only got mad at me because I was trolling him in Bobby's chat, but he was too silly to realize what was happening. So that's just classic Cheats fan. He told me he's going to boycott the show, and then he reached out and apologized about 15 minutes later. So I don't know where things stand with Cheats fan and I, but just another day in paradise around here.
Has he called in since the loss?
No, but he was very emotional about it last night.
Was he really?
Oh yeah.
What was the final of that one, by the way?
A bit of a blowout.
Was it really?
If you could, I mean, it's a 1 seed going. I think it was like 55-44. I could tell you right now. Let me pull it up. We track all this for
of course you know.
bookkeeping purposes. But look, Weed ran a great campaign. He smoked weed and made funny memes, and that's what it takes to win in this event. Yep, 55-44.
Weed broke him.
That's what it takes. That's what it
You
takes.
got it.
This question came in earlier from Reese, and then we'll get to your calls coming up here. Jake and Cole, if the Giants trade the 3rd pick here, the Jets trade up for Abdul Carter. I'd be surprised if the Jets traded assets with a first-year GM and a first-year coach. I don't think they're going to be that bold.
What's so funny is that I remember when people were mocking Abdul Carter at pick like 8 or 9, like back in October, and they were very upset. And I was like, that is just such a good pick. Like, because if you go get a right coach, this is somebody that could be a difference maker talent. Because you're already watching him. Make incredible plays when he was at linebacker last year at Penn State. And what he's doing the transition from linebacker to defensive end, he's only going to get better at it. I just don't think that he's going to trade up. Like, I don't see a scenario where the Jets trade up. If anything, the Jets trade back.
I would be very surprised. This doesn't feel like a regime that is going to be that aggressive. Rich says, hit the like. He's right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's update ASMANIAC Madness right now before we take our first call. Neal leads 51-49, but on the line right now is the 6th seed in the region, Leenie in North Carolina. Hello, Leenie.
Hello.
Hey, Cole. How are you?
I am good, Leenie. What part of North Carolina are you in?
I'm in Apex.
Okay. So North Carolina, for many people that know this already, that when I come on the show is my favorite state of all time. I would move to North Carolina tomorrow, which is why I have you upsetting Neal and I have you going on a deep run to the Final Four. You don't yell at children. You actually are respectful on the show. You're a wonderful phone call. You're a delight to talk to.
Oh,
it's
you
little
so
things
much.
like that. Just like, you know what? This is why we got to pull for Leenie.
I appreciate that. Well, if you want to say, Leenie is in Mimi mode right now.
Really?
My daughter had the dentist. So here's my grandson. Say hi.
Aw.
Aw.
That's
What's up?
Jameson.
What's
Okay.
up, man?
That's Jameson. And this is Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Say hi. Oh, yes.
See?
The loves of my
Wonderful
life.
with children. This is why we pull for this
I
60.
am. Yes, I am. I know, buddy. I'm going to be quick. I promise. So I got to be quick because I had to turn down the TV.
Sure.
But I don't got a spiel, like, a stick, not a spiel, a stick like,
Do you have
Neal
13
does.
points
He's
like your
got the
opponent will?
cigar. He's got his million takes, and all that stuff. So I don't got that. So what I got, I'm an OG too. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old. This will be my 56th year cheering for this team. I love them. I love them. I love them. Even though I say I hate them, we all know we all don't hate them. We all love them. So I just printed something out just to show you. Everybody in high school knew I was going to put this, but you know how you have in your yearbook and you have your picture and then you put things underneath? So I want to show you. I don't know. Can you see that?
Oh, wow.
Hold on. We're going full
Yeah.
screen.
We're trying
for
to
this.
see what it says.
Luke loves mom and dad cheerleading football, the Jets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if Neal put that in mommy's room. I don't know if Neal put that in his. Oh gosh, did I get out of this?
No, you're
still
good.
here, Leenie.
You still got you.
Okay. Sorry. So I don't know if Neal put that in there. Also, I have to just say I've did not go on dates because the Jets were on. I'm a sports fanatic. I love it.
Neal took a weekend off back in 1965. That's what happened. Leenie didn't. Leenie was making sure that she was watching the Jets.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and I've never missed a game. Now, I may not have watched it live, and I don't know if Neal could say that. My son was on a travel baseball team for years. And so I had my phone. I'd watch it on the phone. In between games, I went into the car. I listened on the radio. And even though they lost 45-0, I would come home from the game and Mr. Leenie would say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you think I'm doing?" I'd watch the game because I recorded it, even though they lost. I watched the whole thing, didn't fast forward, and then watched post-Jets game live. Okay? I love this team. I'm a sports fanatic. I'm not going to yell at Neal. I love Neal too, so I'm not going to be cursing at him, anything like that. But come on, I'm the last 44.5%er on this side. So please get me through to the Sweet 16.
Leenie,
That's all.
Leenie, let's do a Jets. Let's do a Jets chant to close this call out. You ready?
Yeah, ready? Go. Jets! I love you all. Thank you.
Leenie, you're awesome. That's a tough call for anyone.
How does she not win it after that? She brought the grandkids out. She brought out the yearbook. She did the Jets chant. That's a winner in my book.
Incredible. Leenie, you're awesome. I mean, wow, what a battle. 51-49. If Leenie swayed your vote, she needs it. Vote. There's still votes to be had. 395 people have voted. A lot of people out there watching the show, probably watching from the beginning, maybe not at this point yet, but the show's going on, and Leenie could use your vote. Cole, as always, appreciate you hopping on the show, man. This was fun.
Anytime, dude.
Cole Thompson, everyone. Go follow him on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson on Twitter, YouTube channel as well. Check it out, and he'll be with us throughout the offseason here till we get to the draft, which, another shameless plug, get your ticket to our draft party at Clinton Hall. Less than a month away. Your ticket includes a complimentary drink and a raffle entry where we're giving away a signed Sauce Gardner, Joe Klecko, Nick Mangold, Jermaine Johnson jersey, and other prizes that night. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Thanks again to Cole for coming on the show. A lot of love for Leenie in the chat. Andrew Fialco calling Leenie the GOAT. That's strong praise. Strong praise. Phil says Neal is sweating. Yeah, I mean, look, it's tough. Dark Knight Steve writes in, a vote for Leenie guarantees a Jet playoff win. When, Steve? I've waited 14 years for that. When? J8 Silent Bob. Leenie sucks. Let's go, Neal. How could you say Leenie sucks? I'm not allowing this comment. All right. That can't be acceptable around here. Get out of here. All right. Automatic whole sentence if you bash the great Leenie in North Carolina. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. See ya. I don't care if you paid me $1,000. There is no bail price that has been set for that guy. He's done. Luppy with a super chat here. Jake, thoughts on trading for Goddard from the Eagles, and when would you think it would happen? I think it would happen at this rate probably post-draft for a team that didn't get a tight end. I'd be interested in him. I'd be interested. Michael says, Jake, we need some Wesley Walker swag for raffles. Great Jet, one of my all-time favorites. Only had one good eye. I'd love to have some Wesley Walker stuff. Stay tuned for that. This week, though, our theme is the 2010 Jets. And if you missed the show yesterday, we've added a signed Mangle to the other items that include a signed Cromartie helmet, signed Holmes helmet, signed Scott helmet, signed Rex helmet, and, of course, our grand prize, signed Hall of Famer Darrelle Revis helmet. Beastbreaker writes in, Jake, I'm ready to see this draft, and I'm going to make some decisions. Are you going to be in the war room with the Jets, Beast? Is that what you're telling us? Because that would be interesting. That would be fascinating. Could you imagine that? More calls right now. Indy Jets is next. Hey, Indy.
Hey, Jake. Hey, yeah, Beastbreaker in the war room would just be that would probably be even more entertaining than the ASMANIAC Madness. I don't know, but
it would be funny. I don't know if it'd be good for the Jets, but it would be funny.
Right. I mean, if we can't get a playoff win, at least we can get Beast. We always talk about Jet-like things that we do. Just dumb drafting wide receivers in the second round has done wonders for us, right?
But that doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean you can't do it, though.
Well, no, I agree, but when you continue to do the same things and get the same results, but
yeah, but every other team could hit on a receiver in the second round. That's kind of the point,
right. And I think that what we need is consistency in a player. Like Membu is if he's there at 7, I think that has to be our pick. But people are really down, pushing back, Tech McMillan over, they still want Tyler Warren over Tech McMillan. And I look at it like this. I want somebody with consistency. And McMillan's played 3 years, started as a true freshman, caught almost 40 passes for 700 yards. And then the next 2 years, really excelled even though they say he's slow. The numbers, he puts up numbers that don't say he's slow. Tyler Warren has been in Penn State for 5 years and only had one season. Really, I mean, his other seasons were, and I'm not saying Tyler Warren's bad, but he never got the opportunity to show consistency at a high level. Whereas at least McMillan has shown that he has consistency there. And I think as a Jet fan and as a player, we want at least consistency. I don't want Kyle Pitts to come out and have one good year and then just be, give up the 4th overall pick for Kyle Pitts and then just be an average tight end. And that's basically what Kyle's done. Maybe Tyler Warren's going to be better than that. I don't know, but he's not shown that consistency. I don't think that is worthy of a 7th overall pick. What do you think of that?
I understand your point. I don't know if Ted is worth a top 7 pick with his lack of separation, they're saying. That'd be my thing.
Yeah, and at 6'5", maybe he makes up for it. We don't have anybody, Garrett barely breaks the 6-foot mark, right?
I mean, but you watch, like, when I watch Warren, though, I get it. It's 1 year. I just think the guy's a freak. Like, just watching him. And I think he's so dynamic.
I would have loved to, even if he would have had an average year the year before and then a breakout year. Okay. He just didn't even have an average year for a tight end, and in 5 years at Penn State and only having one.
He wasn't really featured in their offense, it looks like.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't that go-to talent at any level except for 1 year. So I'm not saying he's bad by any means. And he's probably worthy of a top pick. But it's just that one, in 5 years, he only had 1 year of consistent of great play, and then the rest of the years
who are his
were
quarterbacks
terrible.
though? It's not like
Well,
and Penn State's always
same
had a bunch of
quarterback he had.
weapons.
Well, the same quarterback he had this year, he had last year. And so, but on Tyler Warren's defense,
Bill
Penn
makes a
State
good
had
point.
two running backs to go.
He was a quarterback in high school. Like, this guy hasn't been
Yeah.
playing the position that long. Like, that's why I think he's still growing into what he is. Like,
Yes, and
I think he's only going to get better.
on his defense, Penn State had two running backs go over 1,000 yards. You have to attribute that to him too. So I mean, I think that maybe he won't catch 1,200 yards, but if Penn State can have two running backs with 1,000 yards, what can Brees Hall do with that guy? So there's the plus side of him, And I need to say that with being in the Carolinas, go Leenie. We've if you're not voting for Leenie, then you're probably not even a Jets fan. That's all I can say.
Now, I understand that, Indy, but let me ask you this: Neal eliminated you in the opening round. Wouldn't it be better for your? Wouldn't it be better for your standing if you look back on this tournament and go, man, I got beat by a guy that went all the way to the Sweet 16 or went all the way to the Elite Eight? Or
I even at that, I'm still not going against Leenie. She's my North Carolina girl. I'm in the Carolinas, so even if it was anybody else, I'm still voting Leenie. I don't care who her opponent is. It's just got to a vote for Leenie is a vote for the Jets.
Indy, great call. I'm sure a lot of people agree with you, but let me tell you, Neal still holding on. It's 51-49 looking at the poll. Super chat from Big Fella. More of your calls coming up. I like the draft, but not getting an edge to replace Clemens, who has been the bane of our existence as Jet fans, is the only thing I have an issue with. Yeah, that's true. The problem, Big Fella, is the Jets have too many needs right now. So, we addressed a lot of them, and we also played the value of the board. Like, if tight end's a strength in this class, I think we got good value with Lackley in round 7. Mickens, I thought, was really good value in the 6th round. I think Besh at 73 would be like a dream. I don't know if that's possible. Connerly's our right tackle. Graham is top 5 player that we got at 7. I mean, I wanted Warren. Cole. I let Cole make the Graham pick. I think next week we'll take maybe Warren and see how the rest of the draft would play out if we do that, assuming he's there at 7. So, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. It's tough. The Lump Man delivers a 5-spot of channel memberships for the people.
It's the ASMANIAC membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Luppy on the board again. He's gifted now 10 memberships this show. Thank you, Luppy. Howie from Jets HQ. Billy McCain, Joe Rano, Iowa Jet fan, Jet Life 407, all receiving channel memberships. But wait, there's more. A member of the 4%, Janice Jet, gifting 5 channel memberships for all of us.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
These are from Janice, who is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name, you thank her. Nitty, Eric Rivera, Keith Parcells, Eli Yananakopoulos. Where are the other names here? I feel like we're missing names. We got Eli, Keith, Eric Rivera, John, and Nitty is what it's telling me. Oh, we're not done. Ladies and gentlemen, membership explosion, baby. Raffles coming up. Everyone wants in. Bo, who's gifted a ton this week, is in for 10 more, baby.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Bo gifting to Low 10th Fade, Joe Baxter, J Dubs, Doc Avik, Lisicki, Christian A, David, Nate Bonifant, Matt Monroe, Austin Barry, Allen is a D-bag, all receiving channel memberships. Congrats. Okay, let's continue now with your calls. But I got a surprise before we do that. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout this tournament, we've had some great callers come up with creative ideas to try and earn your vote. One of those guys is named Jets Johnny, and he took out D-Bag Allen in the opening round. Johnny, a 14 seed, defeated the 3 seed Allen. Johnny now has a tough task, going up against Craig from Australia in the round of 32 when we get to the Butter region, as you see on the screen. I'm here to present to you right now the latest diss track from Jets Johnny. Enjoy. And hello, Craig.
G'day, mate. So who does that put me up against in the next round? Jets Johnny?
Jets Johnny, yeah.
Right. Jets Johnny, and then...
I'll start tripping, Craig.
Ain't no fan, I'm an OG vet. Bleed the green since the cradle got wet.
Right.
Every curse, every loss carved into my dome. Jets Johnny brought on this pain is my home.
Right.
Why you hopped on when the hype got lit? I was in the trenches singing with the whole shit.
Right.
33 scars, one heart, one name. Pledge my life to the green and white flame. Pledge allegiance to the pain where the losses raised me. 33 years deep, no fair weather phase me. Craig talking big like he feel for the shit. Made up big, reppin' green since the first sucked on a tick. Ozzy in your blood, America's my home. I'm the heart of the city. You play yourself, get on. Flexing in and out, I'm flexing real pain. You just hopping in, I've been 10 toes in the game.
Right. I'm basking in the glory of my big win here. If I'm up against the Texan, flag in the office versus flag in the office.
Craig, are you hot?
That's one small step for man.
Sing legends go, you reputation now show enough. Better like you been here, you get repaired to Ozzy fan show up when I hype set his feet. I stay down through that drive, never turn cheek. You walking like you're talking, well, let's see. I've been real from the jump, you just a FNG. You cheer when it's me, I bleed in the side when you playing for the game. I'm built for that midnight. I would never flinch, Marine standing tall. You falling under pressure, I answer that call from the nosebleed. To Jamaican shit in my bones. Jet shining name, I'm calling this home. So talk all you want, but it say love beat.
Okay, I'm not saying I am Gary. Gary.
One giant leap for mankind.
Alright, I am Gary. Right, Jets Johnny, and then...
That's the matchup coming up in the Butter region. Craig from Australia, the 14 seed Jets Johnny. Bravo to Johnny, man. The creativity and the effort to make this stuff, incredible. All right, let's check in on the scoreboard right now. And the matchup we have on the show right now, 51-49. Neal is leading Leenie. It is tight. It is anyone's ball game. We've heard from Leenie. We will hear from Neal coming up. But first, shout out to Mimosa, who during that song gifted 10 channel memberships for the people.
Thank you, Mimosa, for your generosity and tremendous support of the Jake Asman Show.
These are from Mimosa. Here we go. If you hear your name called, say thank you to her. Briga State Community Services. Briga_State. This show is incredible. How many subscribers am I getting from just Dave Briga alone? His presence, his aura, as the kids say. Joseph Manley, Happy Wolverine, Rue Nuts, Mo Kalita, Robin, Raphael Mitchell, Black Gypsy for 20, Kilksleys, all getting memberships there from the Mimosa. Congrats to everyone who just got a membership, and thank you as always to Mimosa for her support. One day she'll call into the show. Can't wait. Right now, she'll just be a regular on the Bobby Midnight Show, making fun of Gary, which is fine as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hear from Leenie's competitor. Could be one of the calls of his life. Could decide this entire battle. We check in right now with a man who needs no introduction. We know he knows how to thrust, and we know he knows how to cheer for the Jets. Watch it live on your screen. Here we go.
I think that guy I know, right?
And now.
How about the one on the top of the pickup truck with that kid? You have that one?
Shirtless you, Neal? You told me not to play that one. Now you want that one?
You could play it for the people. Play it for the people.
I
This
gotta-
shows my Jet fandom right here. If anybody could take the shirt off as bad as I look, that's a real fan. You have it?
I'm trying to find it. I got rid of it a while ago because you said you didn't want it. Here we go.
That's, I love Leenie. Leenie's terrific. Was a great call. I listened to it. She is one of the top Jet fans that listen to the show, and she's a woman that's even better. But there's no Jet fan like me, Jake. Jake, I was 6 years old running around football fields with my John Riggins, and I made my father take me to the championship game in Oakland. He paid $150 to get me to go to the championship game. That's how much he knew what it meant to me to go see the Jets. I was 8 years old. I knew every player on the team. I haven't missed a snap. Okay. My son still bitches at me because I missed his Catholic school championships because we had a playoff game. Okay. And that's my son. Now, I don't know what this thing about kids came up. What is this whole thing about me and kids? I don't get that.
The Connor Long thing. When I don't even remember what you exactly said, but I know Rick Kent is very angry.
Well, look, this is my familia over here at Christmas time. Okay. This is my familia. Okay. This is Santa Claus is me right there. And, nobody, I dress up as Santa Claus for all my grandkids. I have a beautiful costume. I go to neighbors' houses. I go to orphanages and give gifts. Okay. So, nobody loves kids like I do. Okay. Nobody. I am the Santa Claus. I love my children. I love my children's children. And there's no bigger Jet fan than me. Leenie was nice to have it in your yearbook and all that. And I go back to 5, 6, 7 years old. We were on the playground in first grade. I weighed 101 pounds. Remember I told you that? I was 101 pounds in first grade. So we used to go out to the playground in first grade, and we used to play fumble. He used to throw the ball on the ground. A guy would pick it up, and everybody would jump on him, and then they get the ball, and they run around. When I got the ball, nobody could take me down. I weighed like twice more than anybody that was there. One guy hang on my leg, one guy here, and I would have my white carpenter pants on and my Jet shirt on, and that was it. Everywhere I am associated with is New York Jets. Manhasset, where I was a longtime resident, they said everybody that had a store, deli, diner, everything. Neal, when the Jets finally win a Super Bowl, you're going to be going down Plandome Road, which is the main road in Manhasset, leading the charge in your convertible or whatever you got. So, and I told you, I will be leading the pack in Broadway when we finally pop the champagne. So, Leenie's a great, great fan. I love her. I think she does a great job. Her post games are epic. But,
Did you give any thought of getting on a bike like your fellow OG and dear friend Peter Castro did yesterday?
I loved what Peter did. I thought it was hysterical, but I'm not, look, my work on this show, my contributions, my shitty rants, my love this team. Nobody has endured more pain on this podcast than moi. Nobody. Because I've seen it all. My back is so scarred from whipping that this Jets Johnny, great. Okay. Excellent. I love it. When a baby, all my kids are Jet fans. You cannot come into my family. My daughter-in-law is from Boston. Okay. A mother is a big Patriot fan. Okay. I made her wear a Jets jersey and moved to New York. Otherwise, my son wouldn't have married her. That's my passion. Okay. Now, I heard something about Leenie that her husband or somebody else in her family's a Giant fan? Is that true?
Is that what she said? I think that sounds right.
Somebody told me that her family is a Giant fan.
That doesn't bother,
Jet fan, which I give her credit for.
Yeah, it makes it more impressive how passionate she is on her own, still loving the Jets.
But if anybody was a Giant fan in my family, their bags would be packed outside the house. We'll see them later. Bye-bye.
Neal,
put your Jet uniform on. Get it. Let's jet up, baby. This is us, the Jets.
Neal, you just secured a very important potential endorsement here. Joe Bonesy weighs in. I love Leenie, but Neal worked a shift at Alden's for free.
Look, I'm a man of the people. I help Bonesy. I help anybody I can. Like I said, I will do anything for a Jet fan. Anything for anybody. It's not just a Jet fan. Let's face it. Okay, but Jake, you've been with me to games. You know how my game face is. Okay. It's not like I have two people. I'm the calm guy here. All right. And the cigars. But when I get lit up, boy, the whole section that I'm in has to cover their ears like that when I go with my Jet chant. All right. So again, good luck to everybody. But it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year because this is the worst free agency, worst job I've ever seen in our free agency. Last year I thought was shit. This one took the cake because we didn't even sign. We got like $50 million in contracts. The Patriots have $120 million, and they keep going. They're going. More players. Let's throw another $50 million at this guy. Let's get big. And we're like this. Oh, they're going to stink. Oh, they're going to stink. The Patriots are going to stink. They got everybody. Oh, let's pick nobody. That's what we did last. We got nobody. We're giving away players. Here, Moses, go here, here, here. But we have, that's the pain. That's what we do. Put the whip on my back one more year. Here we go. Put the whip on my back. But I'll be there, and I know we'll do better this year because the expectations are bad. That's the bottom line.
Bruno says, Neal, you got my vote. M123 says, Neal, would you give up cigars for a Jet Super Bowl?
There is nothing I would not do to walk down Broadway and a ticker tape parade. Let's just face it. Okay? Except, I can't, my anniversary is coming up 40 years. And I would never do it. My wife is where I draw the line. My kids is a little different story. Draw the line. Jets, Super Bowl. I could taste it. It's right there. And I will not die until this team wins a Super Bowl. I will not die until that happens. I don't give a shit if I need a robotic body and all I am is a brain and 3 arms in a hospital bed. I will not give up until the Jets win a Super Bowl. For all of us.
Dicker the Kicker says, this is the shower guy. He got my vote. I'm amazed that's what he associated you with. This is in reference to you taking a shower next to Vinny Testaverde this past summer.
I've had many embarrassing moments with Jet players. The Titman, me chasing Titman around in Punta Cana.
I give you credit. You stalked Joe Titman. It led to him coming on. I was messaging with him yesterday. I wished him a happy birthday.
All right, there you go. Yeah. Tip was like, I got to know his family. I got to know his brother. And, this is what I'm about. I have no embarrassment. I go to every Jet player, and this is our team, guys. This is it. This is it. We love the Jets. We love the people here in the chat. The Asmaniacs are great. And I'm looking forward to another season. Hopefully not as painful as we've just experienced. Last year was bad. I mean, Jake, they did not take I feel like I got to.
We haven't recovered from it yet. It's still,
I can't.
It was the worst season of all time. That was the worst of any team
I've
ever rooted for.
So wait a minute. 2 years ago, game 4, when he went down, that was bad.
I actually disagree. I talked about this on a podcast I did the other night. I think this past year was worse. Like 2023 was like, it was more crushing in the moment being there. Obviously, I was with you that night, but like they were at least like you knew why they sucked. At least we thought. It's like they don't have a quarterback. They still were. They were 4-3. At least like they tried. We had a moment of a season. Like this year, if we said to anyone before the year started, "Hey, I will guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers will play all 17 games. He will play every game." Are you betting your life on the Jets record being 5-12 or 12-5? You're betting your life on it, and I promise you, Rodgers
I would have
bet
my life with him at 17 games that anybody would have. There's not a single person that could tell me in this chat.
That's why it was hard.
Even Allen had us winning 10 games, didn't he?
He did.
Allen, the most pessimistic guy in the world, had us winning 10 games. So, we all got hoodwinked. It was a horrible year. And let's just hope it was coaching. Certainly defense was a big problem. And, the stupid moves by the GM, not signing Reddick early enough, losing JFM, losing Huff, depleting the defense, not making defensive changes, no blitzing, no this, no that. Look, one thing I do know with this guy, Aaron Glenn, he's going to attack. I want attack. I want us to go out bleeding. If we lose a game, I want everybody black and blue and tired on the sidelines. How about that, Jake? Let's kick some ass like Beast Breaker. Let's kick some ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neal.
Oh, take that, you pesky Patriots fans.
And more Neal.
Oh, yeah, the dream season we've been waiting for is happening.
And even more Neal.
Let's go.
Super chat from Addison. Would you take a Charles fart to the face for a Super Bowl? I would. I wonder if this is directed at Neal, though. Neal, would you do this for a Super Bowl?
That's it?
Yeah.
Just what do I got to do to his fart?
You have to just take it to the face.
Hey, I'll wipe his ass on top of it. I don't care what I got to do. I'll take Charles on a world tour. Anything. I told you there's nothing I will not do. I'll go into darkness like Rodgers did for 2 weeks just so I can come out and watch a Super Bowl. I don't give a shit what it is. You have no idea what I would do. You don't understand. There is nothing I would not do to witness a Jets Super Bowl victory. Nothing. I can't think of a single thing that you could. A Charles fart. I'll eat that fart.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
We're bringing Leenie on right now. Leenie, would you like to respond to anything Neal said? Anything he said there that you? The floor is yours, Leenie. We gave Neal a lot of time. I want to give you equal time here in this matchup because it's so tight.
Okay. Yes, I have a few things. Okay. One thing. Okay, I was 5 years old on my dad's lap watching the Jets, so I've been since I've been 5 years old. So this season's going to be 56 years. It wasn't just in my yearbook. I was just showing the love that I have for this team. Two, yes, Mr. Leenie and my son are Giant fans, but they also cheer for the Jets. And we went to 2 road games and they won. Well, no, I'm sorry. We went to 1 road game and 1 home game. We went to the Halloween game and they won, and then went to the Jacksonville game and they won. So I just had to make that clear. He brought that up about, trying to trash my husband and my son. No. So I had to make that clear. They do also cheer for the Jets because they love me too. But I just had to make that clear. And yeah, I would do anything too. Listen, Jake, if it wouldn't get you demonetized and your thing go, I would dance like Bobby and show off my little booty too. Just for a Super Bowl. Yes, I would.
Wait a second. I might need to put this on Patreon, folks. I mean, we got Leenie going all out Bobby Midnight style.
The only thing I'm afraid of, I think his little boobies are probably that might be nicer than mine. So I'm just, But anyway, I would do anything to Neal for a Super Bowl. I just, even just to get in a Super Bowl, I just want that excitement of the 2 weeks of watching everything and wanting to throw up and just have that excitement. I got to see the Yankees. Yes. I also cheer for the Mets, got to see them. And I got to see the Knicks at least go to 2 finals and they didn't win, but at least I had that excitement. I just
saw a cup in '94 with the Rangers.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you. The Rangers. Yes. And I saw them get back and they didn't win, but at least they got back and they've been close a few times too. I wanted to share it with my parents so badly. And unfortunately I can't. So I'm hoping that I can share it with my family and my grandchildren, and also to everybody knows how much I love this team. When Aaron Rodgers went down, I had friends were texting me. Friends were texting my husband, is Leenie okay? Like everybody knows how much I love this team. And I cry for them all the time, everything. So, but like I said, we're both OGs. I know he's a huge fan too. He had season tickets. I had season tickets. I get it. So anybody who votes for it, this is so much fun, but I would like to, at least on this side of the bracket, have a 4.5%er get to the Sweet 16. It would be nice. And I'm hoping that everyone, when we get to the other side, will vote for Jay Graves. But that's all I got. Like I said, I don't have the cigar and I don't have 100 million takes that I want to say. But
Ladies
anyway,
and gentlemen, hold on.
Love you all.
Hold on, Leenie.
Oh.
Neal is on the line as well. We need both of you on the screen
Neal.
together.
100,000 takes. I know. I have too many takes, right?
I'm teasing. I love your call. I'm not gonna lie. They are great, and I love it when Jake cuts you off, and then they show it when you jump out the window. Like Gator, he's the best.
Yeah. Hey, look, this is all fun, and I am so glad that there's other people like me that have passion for as long as we have, and look, there's no disputing it. We're both, it's like being in the shit club. We're both in the shit club. We're both chairman and CEO of the shit club. We hate. What does Joe say? I hate to see. I know you say you love this team. I don't love them that much. I'm really a little. To me, it's like it's horrible, but it's a love-hate. I'm not saying I don't love them. But God, they make it really hard, Leenie. They make it so hard for us.
They do. I mean, my brother laughs at me. See, that's the whole thing. Neal, I'm not as 17-0 like you were, but compared to you and Alan, I'm you and my brother's Alan, but my brother is not as bad as Alan. And my brother's a huge Jet fan too. And we just, so every year I'm like, this is it. And he laughs at me. He goes, nah, we'll win 4 games. Nah, we'll win 5 games. And he's usually right, unfortunately. But I just do. Everybody knows how much I love it.
The only good thing that happens is the Giants suck too. So that's kind of like a little bit of a right, Leenie? I mean, at least when I had to see the Giants winning a Super Bowl and beating the Patriots. Oh my God. I had a Super Bowl party with a bunch of Giant fans. I have a big Super Bowl party, right? The one they lost to the Ravens. Oh, did I have a blast?
Oh, yeah.
I had a blast at that
and
one.
And I was with my husband at the time, and my brother and I are under the table high-fiving.
Right. The Patriots, the Ravens were kicking their butts, right? And we're all like laughing. We're not busting. The Giant fans that were there, I had a lot of respect for them, right? Yeah. And then when the Giants ran the kickback on the open of the third quarter, and they were going, we're back, we're back. And then the Raven guy ran it right back. God. Remember that, Jake?
I do.
Remember that?
I do.
That's why I really thought day one with Trent Dilfer, I thought we could win a Super Bowl with Mark Sanchez, but we didn't get there.
I know. Hey, look. If we can, I don't understand it. I don't know. I don't know if we're snake bit. I don't know if it's Namath. I don't know what the hell it is. But
we don't know.
Cubs waited 106 years, and they got a World Series. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
All the way. You know that song. Someday we'll go all the way.
Yes.
Yeah, someday we'll go all the way. I'm waiting, baby. Let's go.
I know. Every year we say it, right? But I just want to say before I go, okay, Neal, I love you. I hope one day I get to meet you in person.
I can't believe you guys haven't met yet. That needs to happen.
Yeah, it has to. And Peter Castro, everybody, all the OG. I'd love to meet all the Asmaniacs if I could. My husband would kill me. But anyway, I just want to say, Jake, what you've done with this little show and how big it has blown up. I just love everybody. And this is so great. I don't know whose idea this was, but I'm not worthy. This whole Asmaniac Madness, it is so great. And I love you all. I really do. This is the best Google search I ever did. And I thank my son because he told me, Mom, just Google it. And you happened to come up and I was like, I like this kid. And it has exploded. So I thank you. And I know Mr. Leenie and my son thank you too, because then I don't have to talk about the Jets so much with them.
I love it. Leenie, you're awesome. I'm glad that you were able to come to the Texans game with us, and I got to meet you and your fam. Neal, you guys are both great. This is a battle. I mean, it's coming down to the bitter end, folks. So vote. Neal or Leenie, you decide who advances to the Sweet 16.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones who make the show rock.
Scoreboard right now, Neal leads 53-47. 548 votes have been cast so far. So vote. Couple comments I want to address here. This guy, Michael, doesn't understand how voting works. He goes, 100 vote difference between viewers and voting, looking like a rigged outcome. Math ain't math. You know how many people come in, vote, and maybe can't watch the full 2-hour show I do twice a day? Maybe they can only watch the monologue or 30 minutes here or there. They'll listen back to the rest later. That's how this works. In fact, there's only 360 people watching right now, but YouTube tells me 1,700 people have already viewed this video. 2% of my audience sees the show live. 98% is not watching live. There's your voting difference, Michael. It's not fake accounts or anything that you're speculating on. I'm seeing in the chat. It's not that at all. Saying Neal got bots voting on here? No, man. I have over 41,000 subscribers. That's how this works. J Quest says, at least this is a battle versus two Jet fans. I have to go against a Giants fan. Vote J Quest. You know, J Quest, your battle's not going to be easy, man. You're facing a 1 seed. But as we saw yesterday, a 1 seed can absolutely go down. Cheats fan was the first 1 seed to be eliminated. Does J Quest have it in him to take out this guy?
Hello, Jake. How you doing? Good morning. Nick's one listener. You must have had a great time. Yes. Vote for Leenie, everybody. She's the best. We love Leenie. Leenie power.
You're going Leenie over Neal, Bobby.
Oh, definitely. I love Leenie, my Leenie. I met her at the Halloween game. We hugged each other. I'm a little taller than her, thank God, because I'm always shorter than everybody else. She's a little shorter than me, but I gave her a big hug when I met her. I was a little high and a little drunk that night.
Yeah, you did ayahuasca.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We had a good time, though. Yeah. I took a shower today, and look what I'm wearing today.
Ah, Yankee shirt. Opening days tomorrow, Bob. You ready?
I know. You going, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Where are you sitting? Good seats behind the plate?
I'm sitting next to Aaron Boone in the dugout.
No, I think you're sitting behind like the first baseline.
By the way, programming, no, only 1 show tomorrow because I'm going to opening day. So there'll be a show in the morning.
Okay.
And, yes, but
Yeah.
can I make that? Can I make an announcement on my own show?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. What do you got? What would you like to say?
No, say that first and then. Sorry.
Okay. 1 show in the morning tomorrow. Now back to Bobby Midnight and his call.
Okay. What about why are they starting at 3 o'clock for? That's weird. Isn't that on opening day?
Yeah, it's throwing everything off because if it was a 1 o'clock game, I would do a show at like 5 when I got back to my apartment. But
I know
not
it's
meant to be.
like 1 o'clock. Yeah, okay, remember back in the days, what game was always first on opening day? Do you remember?
The Reds?
Yes, at 12 o'clock, right? Afternoon.
Neal writes in, Bobby, I forgive your Leenie vote since any woman with a pulse would get your vote.
Yes, thank you, Neal. I never met you in person. No, are you coming down to the draft party? No, he's going on vacation. I think he's going to be in some Cancun or somewhere. I think.
Nick Shine says, Bobby, is Chiefs fan doing better today?
I don't know, but he did apologize to Jake yesterday on the show. I don't know.
He was going kind of crazy yesterday, Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I know. I told him you do the same thing to me, but I let it fly off my back now. So, sometime. I'm back into springtime. Winter was the worst. Winter stuff. I get that emotional stuff.
How are you feeling about your battle against Jake West?
Well, it's going to be tough. He wants us to sing a duet on the show when we come on.
Really?
Yep. Yes. I don't know. But see, look at Leenie's husband and son are Giant fans that cheer for the Jets. So I do too. I go way back with Walton. Oh, wait. Was it Walt Michaels before Joe Walton?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster hotline is the guy trying to knock off the 1 seed on the screen, Jay Quest. Hello, Jay Quest.
Pal. How you doing?
Bob, Jake, how are you?
Are we going to sing the song together? You
I don't know. Do you go to the gym by any chance and play basketball by any chance or no?
Not recently. Why? You thought you saw me hooping somewhere?
I go to LA Fitness in Levittown. We have this tournament, right? 64 of us. And we play basketball, 1 versus 16, and we kind of grade each other based on our, how we play. So I'm the 8 seed. I got to go versus the 1 seed because I beat the 9 seed 10. Shout out to Ted easily. But I got to play the 1 seed, right? Here's my problem with the 1 seed. His name is Bobby. Bobby, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I love you. This guy, have you ever smelled rotten potatoes, Keith?
No, but go
Dude,
on.
so rotten potatoes is the second worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. The first is Bobby. Do I spray this guy with Mando before I play him or some butter and make him smell better, or do I just grind it out and try to hump my way to a win?
I have a rule. If I can smell you, I'm going to tell you. Have you told him?
Bobby it's just another level, bro. And, I don't even know what to say. The 16 seed didn't even show up when he had to play him. And Bobby thought that he just won because the guy was afraid, but it was because he smelled.
He's like, no, I can't.
He didn't show up.
I can't have that smell in my nose.
If I post this guy up, I might vomit. I'm serious. It's 10 times worse than rotten potatoes.
Thanks for the call, man. There's enough humans that smell like rotten potatoes on the subway.
Okay, can you play my video, my dance video then?
Oh, we'll play your dance video, baby. Here we go.
Okay, that guy, I don't like that guy. When he's on, I'm never going to call him. He's an Eagle fan, so he should go below it. I don't like him.
Bob, where did you learn those moves? At the Fuzzy Grape?
Yeah, probably.
Listen, Jake, is tomorrow a matchup in the morning?
Let's look at the schedule
Man,
here.
that quick already? You gotta be kidding me, really?
Why do you think we're previewing it right now, Bob? That's what this is. Yeah, take a look.
Okay. I didn't know. I did not understand that. Okay.
Leenie and Neal are right now. PBM and David T are this afternoon, and I'm doing one show tomorrow because I'm going to opening day. It's Bobby Midnight and Jay Quest.
Okay, because it's going quicker now because I forgot we don't have all those other.
We could clear a region in the round of 32 in 2 days if I do 4 shows over those 2 days.
Right, because like you say, you want to match up with basketball.
Real quick, I'm not around tomorrow because I am working. I mean, if I have a break like I do right now, I'll be able to call in. So I apologize. What?
You called in now, so that's good.
I'm on break, I know, but I don't always get breaks in terms of when Jake's show on. Just stay.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
You vote for the Jet fan. Bobby, I'm not going to show my boobs to get any votes. That's kind of low. But
Well,
you like
you told me you rather smell to potatoes, so shut up.
never see me rooting for the Giants, okay? You know why? Because I'm loyal to my Jet
I
family.
know. Who gives a crap? It does. It's not a jet. It's
I know, but
Asmaniacs.
me going on a giant YouTube show and just like talking Giants, it's like that'd be below me. So
Well, I got on. Don't do that anymore. So don't
I
do
know,
that.
Bobby, don't change, all right? But you did change because you're calling the Jet YouTube show. Because you know about me, something about me, Bobby.
What?
Because I'm gonna sing for you right now. Cause I'll never change, I'll always stay the same. I wouldn't have it any other way. Go Jets.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm proud of Jake West. Good. Congratulations. I love you. I still love you after you call me smelling rotten potato. So, thank you. Any questions, Jake, that I have to answer? I show. Oh no, not on Jake's show. No, Jake won't want that on. Jake, you don't want that, please. Anything else, Jake? Answer questions. I'm having a good day. I'm okay. No. I saw King of Queens the way they treated him as a sub. No, I rather help people. Like at the breakfast thing I'm going to do. Hopefully I get that job on Monday. Please. I think I will. I have faith. Anybody else? Stripper pose. I know. That was exactly on King of Queens too. Doug wanted Kerry to dance for him every night. And she didn't do a good job. He had to teach her how to dance on the dance pole like this. Be part of the pole. Be part of the pole. Then he slid down like an angel. Upside down. It was crazy. Anybody else? Okay.
Do the left one. Oh, no.
We'll get down there yet. They shrunk it. I couldn't get them down.
Take your shirt off.
You can't get it. The other side worked kind of the other side because I got, misside boobs and like on King of Queens. Kerry, Doug and Kerry went with a young couple, right? Because the first one, she went with an old man and a young lady. And Doug didn't like Grandpa at all because he fell asleep. He had to wake him up after the game. So
I don't think anyone cares about King of Queens. I think the question at hand that everyone needs to ask following watching a video of you trying to lick your man boob.
Well, I got paid for that. I got paid $20 for
that was my question. So just to reiterate to the thousands of people that will see this, you were paid $20 to do that, and you said, "Yep, no problem."
But yeah, no problem, Nick and Nate. Show thing too. On Friday night at 6 o'clock, I'm gonna have a 24-hour stream.
Friday night at 6, you're gonna do a 24-hour stream.
South Philly gave me $100 for that.
$100 for 24 hours. Bobby, do the math. What is that? That's a terrible rate.
No, people are going to donate during the show because I'm going to raise money for what is that animal thing? ASCPA. That's what I want to raise it for.
A 24-hour. This Friday, you're doing a 24-hour stream.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got to step over your toes. I'm sorry. I got to because I didn't do the math. I said, me and Jada were talking in Disco last night, and I said, wait a minute. Saturday morning, Jake goes, I'm going to step on his toes. So I'm sorry. We'll see how it works.
I'll forgive you.
I know. I'm sorry. We were trying to figure it out. But
maybe you should plan this better than just doing.
Well, they want me to get to 500 subscribers.
Well, guess what? You don't need to listen to they. You have a life. You're trying to get a job on Monday. Should you really be doing a 24-hour YouTube stream that 30 people maximum at a time are going to be watching?
I'd be fine. Nick didn't think I could even call on this show
You realize you'll be compensated $4.16 per hour you're live.
I know, but some people will donate for the other, the ACE. That's why my friend does it. He does certain charities once a year. He picks them up. I want ASCPA because I feel bad for the animals.
I think you need to demand more money up front. If I was your agent, I would say that you're being completely raped over the coals here.
Okay, well, I got a few people I could talk to, especially Jay, 3 siblings. He always, and he could have a 24-hour stream. Well, stop acting like a 3-year-old and ask me every damn day. He does that constantly.
I think Dave Brigham would be ashamed if he heard of this.
Well, I don't care about him. I don't care about his opinion.
You don't even know the name of the charity. Jay Quest is right. This sounds fishy.
No, it's the animal.
I think you need to cancel this 24-hour stream, have more of a plan in place, plan something, and then go from there.
ASCPA, the animal. What? Like the North on Animal Week. ASCPA.
Why are you raising money for charity when you yourself need money? Because you are charity right now. You don't have a job.
I'm going to get a job on Monday.
Right. So maybe get established in that job, and then we do a 24-hour
Nick suggests to go when I get 500 subscribers. That's the plan, but people want me to do it on my show. Maybe things will change. I have to get it.
At this point, you should just say the charity is the Bobby Midnight Fund.
No. I'm going to get, like my friend Bad Dog. He gives money out to these different kind of things. I like the ASCPA because they need help to raise money for the animals who the people neglect, which sucks. I hate when your parents.
This stream sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, because what I can see happening is you're going to be asleep at the wheel and you're going to get another like big dong that's going to be making an appearance on the show, and you're going to be too tired to realize it's happening.
No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to have co-hosts. I'm going to take naps during the.
You're going to take. Are you going to nap on the air?
No, I'll have like co-hosts. Cheats Fan said he could co-host for a while.
You trust Cheats Fan, who might have dead bodies underneath his couch. You trust him to co-host your 24. Your judgment from the very beginning with this show is horrific.
Okay. Well, I got Addison as my co-host. Jaden.
Addison cannot be on the stream for all 24 hours.
No, he's not going to be on for all.
So at some point, you're going to need someone you trust, and you don't have that many people in your life you could trust with the channel.
Is it good?
I don't think so. You're not really thinking this one through.
All right. We'll talk about it tonight on my show.
What if I don't want to talk about it tonight? What if I have dinner plans at a great restaurant tonight?
Oh, no. I talk about on my show.
Okay.
I tell South Philly, don't give me any money.
Yeah, but here's the reality, Bobby. The Bobby Midnight sycophants that you have, they don't want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. They want to be able to show up after the show ends, have a place to put their feet up, and bullshit for an hour and a half to 3 hours every night. I'm looking at it like your health is on the line here. You don't need to do a 24-hour stream when you're trying to get a job on Monday here. I'm the one who's actually looking out after you.
Yeah, Nick suggested me going on when I get the 500 subscribers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine is on the line. Nick, you got to tell him to not do this 24 hours.
I tried yesterday. You know him.
It sounds like a disaster.
It's a horrible idea. He's getting $4,000 on Sunday night for the weight loss.
Yeah,
the weight loss contest ends Sunday night, and right now he's at like $3,700. He loses a couple more pounds, he's over $4,000. He doesn't need to whore himself out for this.
But you hear what Nick signed? They gave me $10 to get a hammer. My hammer.
I sent him $10 and said, "Please eat, you fat fuck. Gain weight." I'm tired. He gains 3 pounds. I saved $30, as do you, Jake. So I want him to eat as much as possible this week.
Well, tell him about the show when I came in. When I came on your show, you called me fat fuck. I'm here. I wrote in the chat. Then I called and I want to be on right now. Remember, that was funny. I was watching you.
Yeah, this is not a good idea for you, because I told you months ago, let's plan this out. Let's wait till after the weight loss, because you got to be on a good regimen. Now you could possibly going for a job. We've all seen you be sleep deprived. We've all seen you get moody
On
and
my show.
angry and
We've
vicious.
all seen a giant male genitalia plop up on your show.
Yes, we did.
That's what's going to happen at some point during this 24-hour stream. And
Well,
Nick and I will not be there to stop it from happening because you're going to be on at 4 a.m. and none of us are going to be awake watching.
I do agree with you guys. I got to tell South Philly, don't give me any money.
South Philly just donated to Bobby Midnight, the charity. It's fine. Dave Briga has spoken, folks, and Briga's word is gospel around these parts. He says, Bobby, postpone your charity show.
Well, thank you for your 2 cents. I don't want to listen to you. I listened to Jake and Nick.
We're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't care what.
And we listen to Dave Briga because not even Jake and I are that bold to go against Dave Briga.
Well, I don't listen to Dave Briga. I like him as a guy. He's fine, but I don't.
Well, it sounds like you are listening to Dave Briga because last I checked, you said you're getting a job potentially on Monday.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see Asmaniacs complain. What he call him, one punch Briga. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch Briga. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch Briga. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch Briga. You only need one.
No, Tom Ace, that's not true. It's Nick and Jake who told me. It wasn't Dave Briga. He told me about the job, so he's wrong, but I'm trying to get.
Rest in peace to the 24-hour Bobby Midnight stream.
Yeah, I got to just tell South Philly tonight.
Okay. I think South Philly could be watching.
Yeah, he comes on my show a lot. So I'll talk to him. I will tell him when I get.
Yeah, Bob, we know that you'll do anything the second money gets thrown your way. You'll
Bobby,
say
you're
yes.
making
As we see with the video, you will not
Right.
say no to when people offer you money. But this is
Right.
where we come in, and I told you, down the road, if you wanted to do it, wait till you get
like
the
we
500
said,
subs. Hold on, listen.
Okay.
Wait till you get the 500 subs. We'll plan it out. We'll have a weekend where people can come on and host. I'll schedule it. We'll do a whole big production. And then you're like, nah, this weekend, I got nothing going on. Bob, you have nothing going on every weekend. You could do a 48-hour stream every weekend.
No,
but we want to plan this.
Yeah, I like what we suggested that, me and you. But we keep having Jay come in. Oh, when are you going to have your 24/7?
It's all right. It's okay to tell people no, Bob. It's okay.
Well,
I get it.
He acts like a 3-year-old sometimes, Jay.
But if we plan this and we produce it and we have, we promote it, it can be really big.
I think I agree with you, Nick. I'm going with Nick and Jake.
And Dave Briga. Give Dave Briga credit right now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I feel like
You might not agree with him, but Dave always has your best interest in mind.
I know. Okay, I agree. Thank you, Dave Briga. I agree with you too. How's that? Good.
Hell yeah, you're my bitch. You do whatever I say, Bob.
All right, we put an end to that one. Thank you, Nick Shine, for the assistance there. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people still want in on the show. We're almost at 2 hours. Let me update the polling here, and then we'll fly through these calls here. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Almost 600 votes. Neal's up 54-46. It was 50-50 for a while. Neal's starting to pull away. But, I mean, Leenie's great. A great caller. So you can't go wrong with either one. Scott Foster says, Bobby, listen to Nick. Amen. Scott wants to know, when did Bobby quit listening to Nick? I don't know. He listens. He's just more stubborn. It takes a little time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with Chef Kevin. Hey, Chef.
Jake, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Kev?
Hey, man, just another beautiful day at the Clover Leaf, just working on my bone menu. You know, we got Bonesy coming up, so I'm just getting everything together. The hopes are that, you know, if I could beat him, then I could release this menu, where basically I got a ton of items or whatever. Today I was just working on my my bone marrow. What the heck is it? Carne asada, birria style taco. So that's something that's in the works that I actually have ready right now. If you don't mind, let me just
let's go full
get that
screen
right
on this.
there.
Here we go.
This steak right off the grill. This is filet mignon. Let me chop this up really good.
Oh, that looks
And
amazing.
then with the steak, I'm gonna do chimichurri sauce. I mean, the chimichurri sauce just works so well. Let me get a plate right here. Move that out the way. You got that chopped up, and then I got the little chimichurri sauce right here.
I'm starving.
Get that right over there. Let me get a little more. If you like sauce, mix that up a little bit. Get that right. Let's put it on these tacos right now. Get the good view. But I like them loaded up though. You can't have small tacos. Beast Breaker knows about tacos. They gotta have the right amount of stuff. With this, we got a little bit of chopped onions. Get a little bit of cilantro here. All right, and then I have this amazing birria sauce.
Oh my God.
House made. So I don't have my my son here to eat, but I do have a nice young Latina lady here that'll help me out. Rosa, come here. Taste these tacos out. Tell me what you think.
Oh my God, Bonesy
Come
might
over
be
here.
cooked unless he brings his wife on the show now.
Here we go. Dip it right here in the birria sauce right here. Yep. Put it up to the camera so they can see that.
Bringing out
All
Rosa
right.
is like when Uncle Phil brought out Lucille.
Very delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. But hold up. That was the one. She tried this one. Now we got the bone marrow here. So that bone marrow is going right in. So Rosa, you got to try it one more time. Now try it with the bone marrow. Give it a bite. Tell me if it works.
Delicious.
All right.
So what for the best chef, Kevin?
Hey.
The best.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's one thing that I got. We already did a soup with Cole last week, and then we did a burger 2 weeks prior. I got a short rib bone-in quesadilla. You know, we'll rock that closer to the date when me and Bones go at it. But let Bones know I'm looking for him, man. Nate, don't get mad at me, but I got to go at Bones for still crying and giving us love songs about JD. We done with that. We got to move on. I'm serious. We got to move on. All that talk about the past. Let's be done with that, man. Let's move forward. Let's see what we have going on. Let's cook some stuff. Let's get some wins, man. Let's start feeling excited and happy about this stuff, man.
I love it.
For that draft that you had with Cole, Jake. Like, I wouldn't be mad if we got Graham, to be honest, man. You know, I'm riding with Warren, but if there's a chance where we get Graham, like, that just solidifies that D line, man. Something that Joe Douglas last year just totally ripped apart, man. He totally just got rid of our bread and butter of rushing and getting to the pass where that helps out our secondary. So what happened? Secondary was just in shambles last year. You know, we can nitpick that apart or whatever. But seriously, man, if we get Graham, like that's solid, man. I wouldn't be mad at that. But you know, if we get Warren, I think that will definitely help us out a lot in the blocking, run block, and also pass blocking. Let him sneak out. Fields does a lot of boot plays, man. Have him dragging across the middle. I mean, Warren's a weapon, man. I could really see us utilize him a lot, man.
I agree
then Jake, man, I my man. And then for this past Saturday, man, with the Knicks game, salute, man. Thanks so much for getting that together. A hell of a time. Salute to all the Asmaniacs that were there that show a hell of love to my wife, hell of love to my son, man. Such an amazing time, man. Jake, thanks so much, brother.
Chef, it was awesome to be there with you and your family and everyone. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to share it now. When we do our training camp meetup this summer, we're doing it at the Cloverleaf Tavern, which is about 30 minutes from Florham Park. So it's going to be an awesome night. We'll see Chef Kevin in his natural habitat at the Cloverleaf Tavern in North
That's
Caldwell,
right.
New Jersey, baby.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
We still cooking it up, man. Still working on the bones, man. I'm sorry. I needed a bigger chef coat because all I'm doing has been eating this bone marrow stuff. I don't know how healthy it is, but I've been eating this joint all week, man.
Let's go, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Chef Kevin, who's got his work cut out for him against Mr. Bonesy. But I believe in Chef Kevin. That's a battle right there. That's a 50-50 if you ask me. Neal and Leenie is a 3-6, and that's really close. 54-46 now. It's 50-50 for a lot of it. That's a battle. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy was on vacation. He had a birthday. He's calling the show for the first time since. The Lup Man is here. What's up, Luppy? Happy belated.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. Oh, wow. It was awesome. Excuse my language. It was awesome. All the people that reached out to me, including you, Jake, and I appreciate everything you did, was phenomenal. You know, it's crazy. But I feel like I've been gone for over a week, and the vacation was great, but it's like heroin. I'm telling you, I miss it. I miss me. So I put my hat on. Is my wife?
Thank you for reaching out to my daughter and doing that.
Yeah, it was epic.
That was
Jake,
all her. That was all her. She reached out to me.
Yeah.
I was blown away, Jake. I was blown away.
My pleasure. Luppy's daughter emailed me asking if I could submit like a happy birthday wish, and I responded back, and I'm glad it went well.
It went very well.
His mouth dropped when you popped up.
I was like, what? So it was phenomenal, and I thank you. And just watching this show, and it was like I said, it's like I'm missing heroin. I'm like, I gotta be on live. It's just amazing. I mean, I'm laughing my ass off all day watching this show, and it's amazing. Us Asmaniacs are just phenomenal. You're phenomenal, Jake. It's just, thank you. That's what I want to say.
You're the man, Luppy. We got to get you to the draft party. Bring the whole family.
Listen, I want to go. I'm going to try to work my days off so I can actually make it happen, because you need the next day off of what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, yeah. Are we allowed to talk Jets?
Of course.
I'll tell you, the battles in this Asmaniac thing is just getting so close and close. I love Neal. He's a great caller. I actually had him in my bracket to advance, but when Leenie beat me, and Lenie's such a great caller, I had to vote for Leenie. She beat me, so I gotta, hopefully she goes on. But it looks like Neal is taking the edge, which is no big deal, because everybody's a winner in this, especially the viewers, because it's hysterical. It's great. I mean, Jets Johnny, that video was phenomenal what he did, and I thought it was awesome. A little too long, but it was done well, and it's crazy what's going on, Jake. It just keeps evolving, this show, even the calls and everything that goes on.
I mean, when Peter Castro got on the bike yesterday, I mean, that's when this tournament just means more.
I didn't think his legs worked anymore. It was great. That was great, though. I mean, it's like I'm going to talk about the Jets, and it's going to take this show down a notch. It's funny.
Just imagine if they're ever good and we get to do fun stuff like this.
Yeah, I know. It's just listen. I know they probably take Warren. But I think build the team. I mean, my reasoning behind that is get the offensive lineman. It changed a little bit, because you look about it now. Fields is not going to be our Super Bowl winning quarterback, and the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. He's going to get us to the next level, get us through some good and bad times. But in that span, we need to build the team, and if we can get some good offensive linemen who can actually, do what we do, and we get a tight end. Like I said about Goddard, that's why I sent that out there. After the draft or whatever, we can still build the team while still having him. Problem is who's going to be our quarterback, and that's always been the biggest question with us to get us to the next level. But still, build your team, and we can get an above-average quarterback through these next few years. Or if Fields does get at, if he gets at like the level of these other quarterbacks who went through the Jet system, and the Sam Darnolds of the world, they're still not going to get you to the Super Bowl win you need. So you build the team, and I feel that we can definitely hit a quarterback within the next year or so. That's why I think we need to build the team.
I hope so. And good call, Luppy. I think they could take a quarterback, not in the first round, but at some point, just to add to the room. But I mean, I think it's probably a 25% chance Fields is the long-term guy, which is better than some of the other options. So it is what it is. I think more likely than not, though, the Jets are taking a quarterback in the first round in 2026. So if they could do some trades this draft and get some extra picks for next year, I think that's smart, give Douglas credit for this. Last year, he made a deal with the Lions. They got the Jets an extra third-round pick. They used that to get Devontae Adams. Now, we all thought when they were going to add Devontae, it was going to be to put the team over the top and go on a playoff push, not, get them when they're 2-4 and the season's basically cratering at that point. But he had the foresight to at least get extra picks for something like that. I think Muji's got to have the foresight to get extra picks to potentially get his quarterback in the draft next year. Dan says, if Sanders is there at 7, would you trade our pick? I would try to, yes. I would try to. I don't know how other teams feel about him, though. That's the question. All right. Got some great callers still on the line here. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
He's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. Calls the show, his bell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the Jets, super chats. Well, the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed, but that's a big fella.
I can't get over that thing still. I really can't, bro.
Have you ever called this show not from the bed?
Yeah, I have. I've called multiple times from not
When?
from the bed.
I'm trying. I can't picture it in my head right now.
I've called from my couch. I've called from. I called you over the summer. I was on the boardwalk in Wildwood.
Okay, that I remember.
Yeah. I have. Yeah, but this is my place, man. This is my place.
No, everyone's got the thing they're known for. That's a regular. You're known for. What did JJ call you? The bedroom bandit.
The bedroom bandit. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Battle of Titans today, huh? Leenie and Neal, right?
It's an impossible matchup for me to even have a strong opinion one way or another. I love both.
Well, as the head of the Bed Layers Union, I am throwing our full-throated support behind Leenie in this battle. Leenie actually cried on your show after a Jet win, and she's great. I can't say enough good things about Leenie. So there's that. Getting to the Jets, I think the biggest thing this season is going to be that Tweedledee and Tweedledum, Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh will not be in the building making decisions. That's what I think. I mean, they held us back last year. Everybody was hoping, we're going to get 10 wins and stuff like that. They're the reason why. So I feel with the talent that we have, plus talent that we're bringing in, we're not going the expensive route. We are, I do feel like the talent that we have, we're going to be okay as long as we have competent leadership coming from the front office and from the head coach and the coaches. What do you think about that?
I just think they got to decide what is the biggest thing they're trying to do here. Like, are they trying to surround Fields with talent? Is that their biggest thing? The way they've operated this offseason, big fella, they have put themselves in a spot where unless something changes, they basically need to come away with the first 3 rounds with 3 starters, it feels like.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. 100%. I do, I've been saying the past couple of days that edge, I feel, is going to be a problem for us because we haven't really addressed it yet. Now, I don't know if there's any good edges out there. I don't know how much money they're going to spend on those edges or if they see a draft prospect that's going to fill that void. But, it has to be addressed. It really does.
Big fella, great call. Enjoy the bet. It looks lovely.
Oh, one more thing. I put the full campaign video in the Discord.
You messaged this to me?
What?
You sent it to me, you're saying?
I did. Remember, not the second one, the first one. Remember we talked about it where it was edited?
Oh, yeah.
I put the unedited version in the Discord if people want to see it. Because Charles, I have something coming for you, man, and you have no idea what's going to hit.
Would you also do what Neal said he would do earlier for a Jet Super Bowl win? Would you take a Charles fart to the face?
I would. You want to know something? I might. Let's just say that I do a lot of things for for a Jet victory, man. Not Jet. Well, first of all, a Jet victory that would be something. That would be something after last season. But yeah, a Super Bowl, hell yeah, no doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella has spoken, and he would do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, man.
For Jet glory.
Hold on, I'm gonna record right now. Hold on.
Oh, you.
Charles Gorman, folks. 1 of 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is in action this afternoon. His opponent, Purple Belt Mike. Get close to your cameras. It's David T. Time on the Jake Asman Show. Here we go.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit. Hi, Jake.
David, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. I'm doing just fine. I just want to commend you and Nick, the Jets, Asmaniac family. I feel I know Bobby a little bit, and you guys, I know he's in good hands. You guys are genuinely looking after him, out for him all the time. And it was a pleasure listening to Neal and Leenie talk to each other. And what really struck me when they talked about way back when, when they, first became Jet fans, I go back to my history. I had a poster of Joe Namath, 8-10 years old, poster of Joe Namath over my bed. We played playground football. Mom and Pop bought me a Joe Namath really good shirt. I had that for years, and I would be quarterback on the one team, and my buddy Joe, he would be a quarterback on the other team. Of course, I'd be Namath. He was Roger Staubach. And then the other thing is, all those games when I was a young kid, and the Jets were always usually on the games at Chase Stadium, the swirling winds and the mud games, and watching Joe Namath play. I always, win or lose, I always wished the game would never end. So that's where I'm at. I don't really have much else to say.
David, are you ready for your matchup against Purple Belt Mike?
Am I ready?
Are you ready for it this afternoon?
I am ready for it this afternoon. Purple Belt Mike is a great guy, and I'm just happy to be part of all this, and gonna be a lot of fun.
And he joins us now. PBM, how you feeling?
Feeling good. I don't know if I'm gonna win or not, but David's the man. Not my respect. He's a good Jet fan, good dude. So I'm excited for the matchup. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose.
I'm hearing you have a lot of things in store to try and sway some votes this afternoon. A lot of things that you planned.
I got 2 things planned, and we'll let it rock. See what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T, PBM, our matchup this afternoon in Asmaniac Madness. Be there, 4 p.m. hour. Vote, vote, vote.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock. I'm the king, I'm the Joe.
Yeah, baby. Great calls there. Great calls. All right, we're almost at 2.5 hours here. Can we fly through these final calls, ladies and gentlemen? I know a guy that knows how to fly. Just ask him. He'll tell you how to do it. He'll tell you all about what it takes to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these?
Just catch up on a little John Madden. Watch a little Madden quotes. I do like this, but tomorrow, opening day. But tonight, Gary, get your pizza ready because Jake's got one show he's doing tomorrow and he's going to opening day. how much were your tickets, Jake, for the Yankee game? How much were those tickets?
$1
3,
billion.
Hey! What are you trying to do? Take a sword to my brains?
Hey, Bill M says I ruined the show by bringing you on, Beast. What do you have to say to him?
Oh, kiss my ass. It's called, dude, if you don't like this show, hey, get the channel flicker and change the channel. It's not hard. Or go get a newspaper and read a book. Read a book or do something. If you're not educated, then you know what? You ain't achieving zero. You're nothing but a goose egg.
Hey, Beast, you believe in achievement like Briga.
Damn right I do. I want achievement, and numbers have to come up. And numbers, I want numbers between 7 and 10. That's real achievement. 4 to 6 is okay, but 1 to 3 is below subpar. You know, that's not quality enough. That's caca. That's garbage. But these draft picks that I took a look at here: Mason Graham, Michigan, nice choice. R.J. Mickens, Clemson, nice choice. SMU, Elijah Roberts. I don't know. I have never heard of this guy. Kyle Williams, Washington State. Never heard of him. Luke Lakely from Iowa. Iowa, nice choice. And then these 2 draft picks from Oregon over here. I'm looking and going, the hell? You guys went that? Wow, that far to Oregon. Wow, nice choice. And TCU, very good choice. I like these numbers though, but there comes a consequence. What do you want to do with these guys? Let's see what they can do first. But they have to be 7 to 10. If they're 7 to 10, okay. But if they're 4 to 6, gonna have to put them on the practice squad. 1 to 3, sorry, doesn't ain't making a cut. Not gonna work in there. So it has to be 7 to 10, and it has to be under standards. See, you have standards, I got standards, Briga's got standards.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gabagoo.
Beast, thank you for the time as always. Hit the like button. Last chance to get a raffle entry during this show. Papa Jet is next. Then Adam, Philly, King, and we're out. What's up, Papa?
How you doing, Jake? Got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'll make it real quick because I know you want to get going. I got no Jet stuff today. It's just on the tournament. Last 2 days has been on fire.
Unreal.
It's been great. Mike D's nuts and Briga, what a battle. And speaking of battles, yesterday the battle of the bikes had me roaring. I was laughing my ass off, especially when Castro got on that bike, you know. Oh shit. And as far as this one here, and I like Neal's calls, you know, he makes me laugh a lot, but I voted for Leenie because she's got a beautiful spirit, and that always I always go with that every time, you know. So and then last, what I want to say is what this tournament's doing for me though, Jake, is I'm getting to know people, you know. That's the great thing about it, because I've been in the background for a year and I've been calling for a month or two, but I'm getting to know people that I see their names, but you know, I haven't seen them call in, you know. Like Nate, that's the first time I saw him call in, and he seems like a pretty cool dude, right?
Yeah, so he's called in a bunch. I think what this tournament has done, though, is a lot of the people who are OGs who maybe haven't called as much, they don't want to lose, and they want to remind the newer people like yourself, Papa Jet, hey, I've been here for a long time, and there's a sense of pride they're taking in making sure they call in and are a part of the show this month to remind all the new people that have subscribed the last year or so on what this community has been for a while now.
Yeah, because I voted for Castro just because I never, you know, heard a Nate call, you know. And after the Nate call, I'm not saying I would have voted for him, but it definitely would have been a toss-up, I think, you know. But that's all I got, Jake. I know you want to get going, so I'll talk to you next time.
Papa Jet, you're good. Appreciate it. Adam is next. What's up, Adam?
Hey, so I was just kind of putting some pieces together. No hypotheticals for today, but I actually don't think we're getting Warren at 7. And I think the reason is the Conklin signing was really eye-opening. He's like getting paid peanuts at San Diego. I'm sorry, at the Chargers, right? He's getting paid like nothing. Cheaper than the rookie pay scale when you think about it. So my thinking now is like, if it's not Graham or Membo, it's a trade down. Maybe you get Warren on a trade down, but there's no way we're getting Warren at 7 because the value's not there. I just don't see it. So, and with when you were talking with Cole, if Warren's peak or ceiling is a top 10 tight end, I mean, Conklin, we talk about Conklin kind of being like kind of in the middle of the pack. Doesn't add up to me at 7 now. I'm like definitely not thinking that's happening. What do you think especially with the Conklin signing? What was your reaction to that? Because I thought we really let him get away. That made no sense to me.
I still think he's in play at 7 though, Warren.
Someone else might want him at 7, but I don't think the Jets should get him at 7. I just don't think the value's there. I think it's very interesting now, knowing what
Depends
Conklin
how they
went
feel.
for.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how they feel about the other tight ends. I mean, Warren's a way better player than Conklin. Like, you can't even compare the two. Like Tyler Warren, if you take him at 7, you're saying he's going to be a top 5 tight end in the league rather quickly. If you're making that type of investment in that spot. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be Bowers in year 1, but you're expecting him to have an immediate impact on the offense. And Conklin couldn't block. Like,
It's
Warren
interesting.
is a way better blocker.
I'm just going back by looking at what the analysts would say. Like, Warren is the number 1 tight end. That makes sense. But if Cole thinks his ceiling is top 10, not top 5, I think that's very significant when you think about the value.
I mean, people think he's going to be a top 5 tight end. Like,
Okay.
that's what you're saying if you're taking him there.
That's what you're saying.
I don't think they're going to take him because I think they're going to take an offensive tackle. I think they're going to take Armin Membu.
I would say it's probably Graham, Membu, trade down after that. And maybe you get Warren at a trade down, or you get Tet at a trade down. I could see that happening. But I would say if you stick and pick Warren at 7, I don't think that's good value now that I'm looking at kind of the market value. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I was interested in kind of getting your take on it. And hey, look, if you got conviction, make the call. But I don't think it's there. I think it's actually a really deep smoke screen to get somebody to trade down, help us trade down.
Just don't take Dart, and I'll deal with a lot of the other stuff. Not all of it, but some of it. Bino with a super chat. Briga didn't show up on Jake's show. He recalibrated the internet. The algorithm follows his standard now. The Briga jokes, man. Speaking of Briga, Mike D's Nut says overtime should be 5 minutes. Maybe for the final 4, I'll talk to the committee about making the overtime session 5 minutes so it's more fun. I don't know. Does it really make a difference if it's 3 or 5, though? First off, I don't think we ever would need overtime with this. The odds of you and Briga being tied after 2.5 hours of voting with this many people that were voting is historically insane. I mean, I still can't believe it went to OT. Overtime. And I don't know if we could change the rules mid-tournament now. But this still was the most insane thing I've ever seen. Neal writes in, Leenie, great to be alongside a dedicated Jet fan. Thanks to all the Asmaniacs for the votes today. Neal right now leads 55-45 as we have reached our last 2 callers on the show. Philly Noodles. What's up, Philly?
What's up? Man, Adam, too cool. Lost me a little bit there. Conklin can't compare to Warren just in blocking tape. But nevertheless, I understand where he could be coming from. I just think that then if we're comparing apples to oranges, in a sense, is Membu that much higher above his class of the rest of of tackles versus Warren and the rest of tight ends? I think Warren blows away the other tight ends supposedly. Beside Loveland, whatever. He's like a close kind of second. Again, I missed that the draft you did today. What did you come up with a receiver as your first choice? Your guys off the board that you took. Oh, you're muted.
Jack Besh was the first receiver we took.
Okay, yeah, that's why I keep taking. I keep taking him, and I keep doing a combo as like a higher upside with Deontay Thornton. That's the kid out of Tennessee who ran that 4.3. He's like 6'4". I think they should take a swing at some upside like that. And I keep going with tight end. Like if we don't take Warren, I keep picking up Jalen Conyers out of Texas Tech. He reminds me of Kelsey because he can throw. He runs out of the backfield. He does shovel passes. He's good at the point of contact, and he high points the ball really well. He's hard to bring down off the first tackle. I like Jalen Conyers as like a sleepy tight end to pick in like round 4 or 5 if we just boot Warren. You know what I mean?
If they don't go Warren, there's other tight ends, but they're not as good as Warren. Like you're not.
No, I know
you're not
that.
fun. But you could. We also doubled up on tight end too in the mock we did, Philly. If you go back and watch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I got to watch, but I just wanted to catch it, hear what you guys did with wide receiver. I keep going Besh too. I feel like it's just a good idea. The kid right off the jump is going to be able to catch right from the jump versus some other guys that's got to learn a little bit. So, yeah, already.
Philly, thanks for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, one last call right now. He's got the challenge of taking out the hottest caller in this tournament. One punch, Dave Briga. Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski. What's up, King?
Jake, my brother. Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you on this Wednesday, my brother. I just got a couple of quick points. I ain't gonna waste your time, my brother, because I know you got to get it going. I want the focus to really be on this coaching staff. I know that the talk has been the draft and all of these great players we about to draft, but I need y'all to focus for the purists of the game. I need y'all to focus on this damn coaching staff, okay? Because we can draft whoever the hell we want to. But at the end of the day, this coaching staff has to scheme this team up, okay? Because it's still talent on this damn team, all right? And I don't want to hear nothing about you talking about winning now and you going out here having a 4-game winning performance, okay? I can't have that. All right, like you, Jake, I want to win damn games. All right, because at the end of the day, there's no excuse. All right, for you to have this much talent and not scheme it up right and put the pieces together to win damn games. Okay, so I just want the focus. I know the focus is the draft, and of course I want Warren. And I hear about these other guys, Graham and Neville, and all of these guys. I get it. But this damn coaching staff has to step up and coach this damn team right, okay? I want the focus to stay on the coaching staff because I don't want it to come down to a player or two that messes up this team and they say, oh, well, if he wasn't hurt or if he wasn't, I'm tired of depending on talent. Let's not depend on talent this year. I want to depend on a reliable coaching staff that knows how to coach and put a damn team together. Okay? Now, okay, that's my jet talk. About this damn tournament, it's better than March Madness in the NCAA. Okay? It's better than anything you've seen on the YouTube channels. Okay? Dave Briga, hey man, I got much love for you, but the king, I gotta prevail, baby. I'm trying to sing at Matt O'Leary's wedding. I'm trying to do a number at Matt O'Leary's wedding. You hear me? Okay, Dave Briga, I got to come with the fire, son. I got to come with it. Okay. Now let me say this about this matchup here. Leenie and Neal, I love them both. Both passionate Jet fans, passionate. But let me say this, man. Leenie, your freaky stays out of control. And I love you, my girl. You're so passionate about the Jets. But let me say this about Neal. I had to give the vote to Neal. Because, see, when I first got on this channel, when COVID was just beginning, is when I found your channel, Jake. And Neal and V-Man was the only ones coming with that passion until I got on this damn channel. Okay? They was the only ones saying something like, damn it, get it together. Okay? So I had to give the vote to the OG. Neal, you know I love you, my brother. But at the end of the day, this tournament is just out of control. I love everybody in the chat. The committee, you know we still got beef. JTS, just shit. Asmaniac. Maniac, I need more. JTS, just shit. I need some of your mama's chicken soup.
Ladies and gentlemen, King Lowski. That's how you close a show. 2.5 hours. Bam. Back in a few hours. 4 p.m. hour. More ASMANIAC Madness. Get the podcast version of the show, Apple or Spotify. Please get a draft ticket. The last thing that we need is people saying, I was going to buy one, but I forgot. And then it's sold out. And I'm going to say, oh, I don't want you not to be able to go. Click the link in the description. $30 general admission, includes a drink, raffle entry, working on some surprise guests as well. Clinton Hall, New York City. You can take the train in. It's right between Penn State and Grand Central. Walking distance to both. It's going to be an absolute blast. So get your ticket to our draft party. All right. Before we wrap the show officially, let's declare a winner. It was a battle. It was a great battle. But it's time to make it official. Congratulations to our 3-seed Neal on advancing to the Sweet 16. Neal is moving on in our tournament. Final score is 55-44. 676 votes were cast. Congrats to Leenie on a great battle. But Neal's moving on. So that brings us to this afternoon. Purple Belt Mike trying to take down the 2-seed, David T. You're not going to want to miss it as ASMANIAC Madness continues. We've done the chicken soup region round of 32. And by the end of today, we will have completed the round of 32 in our hood region. And then tomorrow, one show, Bobby Midnight, J Quest, as Butter Region play gets underway. So that's the upcoming schedule here for ASMANIAC Madness. All right. Thank you to everyone who watched, everyone who gifted a membership. It goes a long way towards me being able to do this full time. So thank you for that. Super chats, Patreon, however you support the channel, it all helps. So thank you all. Stay tuned because we're coming back this afternoon and who knows what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. That's ASMANIAC Madness, baby. Again, thank you all. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. And in honor of Neal winning, I present to you the best of Neal.
Vote for Neal. Of course you can, because he's a great grandfather and he loves his children's children. And cigars, and of course, ugly sweaters. And he drives his friends to Jets games and has hot women all around him. Who the heck is that hot chick? And a beautiful, cute dog, of course. Here he is with some Jets players. I think this guy helped Aaron Rodgers end his season. And I don't know, is that Curtis Martin? Wow. Neal loves dogs, so vote for him.
Jets got to get this offensive line figured out. Because it doesn't matter who we have on the center, because these assholes can't hold the line. I don't think, what the fuck? I think there's a little fire over here. Hold on. Or Jake, I might need you to call 911. Oh, shit. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell's going on here? Oh, my Lord. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.